Hey everyone, our live stream has started. We've got a storm that we are watching very, very closely. This is a very nasty supercell that is going to be moving right into the heart of Fayetteville. And considering what has happened earlier today, we are in the middle of doing this severe weather coverage on the live stream. Now, we are also going to be doing live coverage on air as well. This deserves it. This is a dangerous storm. This is going to be moving right towards Fayetteville. Fayetteville was kind of spared from the large hail earlier today, not from this storm. I cannot repeat enough that you need to be knowing where to go in your safe place as this storm continues to evolve. The tornado conditions are very real with this supercell thunderstorm.
New severe thunderstorm
warning.
warning.
Be a good possibility. We are going to transition to live severe weather coverage on the air, and we are going to cover this storm as it comes through. We need to do that for the public for sure. Yes, we got storms going up all over the place.
Let them know now.
Yep.
Okay.
So we are going to go ahead and start our live streaming coverage.
We're going live.
On air too.
Yes, we're going on air now.
I do.
We're starting
We're
coverage
going to do that.
live
We're going
on
to
air.
start right now. Okay. So stand by for live coverage. Hi, everyone. Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff. We've got a dangerous storm that's moving into Washington County very fast, too, 55 miles per hour. It does have rotation with it. It's a large storm that has the potential for very large hail. We've already seen that throughout the day today. We want to get right to it. This is why we've started our live stream, and we're also starting live severe weather coverage. We're going to take these storms as they go through our entire weather coverage area. We knew this would be a potentially dangerous day. We've got multiple WeatherBug network cameras looking at this storm. But first of all, we want to take a look at Mega Doppler right now and track this storm as it moves off to the east, northeast very, very quickly. So here's what we've got as we're looking at Mega Doppler. Very large hail, potentially up to the size of baseballs once again. Now, you might remember all throughout the morning, Fayetteville, we saw some rain. Southeast Fayetteville saw some hail. This is moving right for downtown Fayetteville. This storm is going to be making its way eastward very quickly. Let's stop the loop here for just a second. We'll take a look at the latest hail indication. And again, we are streaming this live, 479 First, also on television. Look at the hail up to the size of potentially right now tennis balls, and it continues to move eastward. Now, unfortunately, our Lincoln WeatherBug Network camera would have an amazing view of this storm, and it would give us a lot of details about structure and low levels of the atmosphere. But we can tell you that this storm definitely has a potential to be rotating. And we're going to be watching because we are under that tornado watch to the south, severe thunderstorm watch over our area. And heads up, everyone in the Washington County area, this is moving really quickly. In fact, let's go to Max 2 if we can, and we'll take a look at the track of this considerable severe thunderstorm that's moving eastward. So there you get to see Pedro at 5:05, Cincinnati at 4:54, and look at how quick it moves to the I-49 corridor. Drake Field in under about an hour from now, all the way crossing from Adair County into central Washington County. That's what happens when you're moving at 55 miles per hour. Fayetteville, about 5:30. So it's 4:31 in the afternoon. We got multiple other thunderstorms, but this is a storm that you need to be making sure that you're watching very, very closely. Another thing is, too, we've got circulation on it. Now, the rotation aloft is definitely showing up, but the ingredients throughout the afternoon has led to warmer temperatures, which could prompt tornado potential. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look back at Mega Doppler, and we're going to do that on Max 1. And here's a look at this rotation that's starting to ramp up. You can see a little bit of a little more defined rotation in the lowest levels. It's not super organized yet, but it's still a possibility that maybe this storm will enhance its rotation. Because earlier today, we were cool. We were cloudy, and that kept the temperatures, basically down a little bit, and that's why we didn't have that tornado potential, but maybe a little bit of a stronger cell here as it moves eastward. So we do have that considerable severe thunderstorm warning. Here you see some of the rotation that's showing up. Another thing that's concerning is this is an isolated supercell, meaning that the storm is out ahead of everything else. So it is ingesting warm inflow, and that will lead to the potential of perhaps a tornado. So we're watching this track very closely. Obviously, we've already seen a lot of hail. Now, we also have additional storms that have popped up in the river valley as well. We'll go ahead and we'll take a look at those as additional thunderstorms are developing. And every single storm now is severe, including storms that are moving into LaFleur County. But we wanted to let you know about this. This deserves television coverage. Number one, it's about 5 o'clock. So think of this. People are leaving their workplaces, driving on the interstate. And if you're in the control room, we can get those iDrive Arkansas cameras up and down I-49 as we get a little bit closer. And Leslie, you can do that with our iDriver as well. You got multiple storms that are off to the northwest of LaFleur County. Those are moving eastward. We'll take you through all of the warnings right now with these storms. So another thing too is you can kind of see their supercells. So these are all individual cells, not a line, not a QLCS. This is the type of environment that we were kind of, let's just say, anticipating, but also a little anxious about, as each one of these storms could have the potential to rotate and produce tornadic activity. Right now, they're just in their infant stages of development. But let's go ahead and we'll look at the different warnings and the timings of these warnings. So first of all, severe thunderstorm warning for ping pong size hail. That goes until 5:15. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning. It's just to the west of that. That will be moving towards Poto and Worcester. I mean, how many days have we seen severe weather in LaFleur County this past few days? There you see quarter size hail that goes until 5:15. And we'll work our way northward. And this is the storm that's considerable. And it's got golf ball size hail as well as 70 miles per hour winds. Now, we've got some of our WeatherBug Network cameras. We'll take a look here at Mount Sequoia. We'll be looking west. So you can't even really see the storm. You can see a little bit of a base off in the distance. That's probably that cell that's beginning to move in. And again, Lincoln would have the best view of this storm, but unfortunately, we don't have that view right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll do another track. Leslie and Davion, they're in the weather lab. They're monitoring conditions very closely on NWS chat as well. We've got Mega Doppler load up. We'll get you through this storm as it continues to track to the east. And it's going quick, 50, 55 miles per hour. Got a new severe thunderstorm.
And I was just going to bring your attention. I know you mentioned the cells that are down to the River Valley area. There you hear the radio going off. The cell that's furthest back does look like it has the greatest potential for rotation right now. I just looked at some of the NROT variables that we have, and it is cranking up down south in the River Valley. It's not the leading cell, but it is one that's behind one of the ones you just pointed out, and it'll be moving right into LaFleur County here in a little bit.
All of these storms are going to have the potential to rotate, and that just has a hook echo appearance right there.
New severe thunderstorm
isolated
warning.
supercells. The conditions are very favorable for tornadoes today, this afternoon, and into the early evening. And as of now, we don't have any tornado warnings, but I wouldn't be surprised if that changes as each one of those individual cells develop. Also, too, with this storm, we'll take a look at the circulation, and you'll actually see, and we'll do that on Mega Doppler. But first of all, I want to take a look at from the radar at Tulsa, and we'll look at the circulation here. It's starting to ramp up a little bit. It's strengthening, and heads up. This is headed right towards Fayetteville, Farmington. I know everything is quiet right now, and that's because the storm is still way west of us, but it's moving eastward quickly, and we do have that severe thunderstorm warning, considerable. It does not include the Fayetteville area, but within the next 15 to 20 minutes, that's going to be moving into Washington County, right in the heart of the I-49 corridor, and something to watch. Now, let's see if we've got any spotters that are located out on this storm. So we've got Alex Hall. He's located just a little bit north of Springdale as this storm is going to be coming in. He's probably on the move to work his way south. And so we'll be able to see as this storm is crossing between Dan, Fayetteville and Farmington.
I'm not sure if he's live streaming, but Michael Craddock should be on this cell. He's on US Highway 59, just to the south of Westville. He's actually in Westville, I should say, right now.
Okay, let's see if we've got his live stream here loading. So we'll see if that ends up loading up. Sometimes 59, the cell service is pretty poor. So let's bring up Max 1 if we can, or Max 2 if we can. We'll do another storm track on this. Leslie, this storm is moving quick. And I know you're bringing up iDrive cameras, and we want to give you the best view of this storm as it moves east rapidly.
Yes, of course. I have an updated track right here. Right now, the severe thunderstorm warning is for the fact that the storm is moving at 35 miles per hour. But of course, we've been seeing these storms ramp up
Is it
without any issue.
55 miles per
It
hour?
says 35
Okay,
here
so maybe a
in the
little
latest
slower.
one.
Okay, so we
Yes.
got a little more time.
Yep.
But that also means it could be getting rooted into the boundary, and that could lead to tornado potential. So
still
all those ingredients
still
to
wouldn't want
watch.
to take the hazards way too lightly, because you're still looking at hazards of up to golf ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts with the severe thunderstorm warning. But chance by 4:38, you guys, which is pretty much within the next minute, you guys should expect this within your region. Watts, I would not be surprised if you guys do get clipped by some of this hail as well. Same with Cincinnati. Cincinnati will continue to keep an eye on you, as well as we continue to pay attention to that region where that inflow notches as well. And then as you continue to move your way eastward, by 505 Lake Weddington, 509 Savoy, and 517 Farmington. So you could see it pretty much hit along Interstate 49 just a little bit around 520 to 530, honestly.
Yeah,
So you guys
yep.
have a little bit of time. This is just a little less than an hour, but I would still have a plan just in case, because like you've mentioned, Dan, a lot of people, they're hitting the road. There could be rush hour by this time, and there could be traffic along the way, and people will certainly get impacted by these storms as they move through.
And we saw from pictures, the damage that it's caused. Elm Springs, tremendous damage, car windshields, busted in, windows that were blown out. So we're talking some large hail. And if we go to Max 1, you will notice this is the exact same colors that we saw before. This hailstorm is the exact same as to what we saw earlier this morning. And you know how bad that was. So we've got that coming in. And honestly, this storm has a little more fuel. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, this is not only just large hail, it's wind-driven hail. Looking at the velocity, some of these latest scans are starting to show brighter greens, showing you that inflow that is still going on Mega Doppler right now.
The storm's cycling.
It's cycling, and we're just seeing the hailstorms, the size is starting to increase as well.
Let's take a deep detailed look at Mega Doppler. See, this is the inflow that he's talking about. You can see the storm relative inflow, green colors, that's shades that are going away or towards the radar, and the red colors moving away from the radar. Now, one thing that we will mention is this is from the radar in Tulsa.
This is.
And so you're seeing more of what we call convergence at the surface. So it's not necessarily a strong couplet, but it is convergence, but it is inflow. See how that wind is going towards the radar inbound, and the radar is located just to the left of the screen. So this is where your winds are flowing towards the radar, which is inflow. Here is your outflow, essentially rear flank downdraft. And once that starts circulating, you'll see red colors beneath it and green colors above it. That's when you start getting concerned for tornado potential. Let's look at the hail size real quick if we can.
I was just going
to
say.
We're talking really large, north of Westville, Highway 59. Get ready, north of Westville. You're about to see, again, large hail. Cincinnati. Now is the time to get those cars under covered areas, which Cincinnati doesn't have a whole lot of that. But get it into the garage. This is we're talking nearly hen egg to baseball size hail potential. We roll over. Let's see what the maximum expected hail size is, and we'll go right over the 2.67. So that shows you. And continuing
kind of
to
shift
get
and morph
bigger.
That cell is still alive and well. It's healthy as it continues to show that 2-inch in diameter hail. That's hen egg size hail. There you see the latest scan. It's only getting bigger as we continue to track the storm.
It absolutely is. So let's look at that circulation from a different radar. So we looked at it from Tulsa. You can see the radar beam and the way that the radials point. So this is convergence, not necessarily a couplet. We'll look at it from SRX, and you can see a little bit more of a circulation, but it's still not super strong. So at the moment, we're okay in terms of tornado potential, but that could rapidly change, what we saw last night, too. This has got all the makings of a classic supercell thunderstorm, no doubt about that, along with some large hail. So we're focused on this because this is moving east, and Leshley's got a track on that hail core.
Yes.
But working our way south, we've got to cover the river valley as well, and we've got multiple storms that are moving in, and we'll take a look at the circulation on those. And so here you get to see a little bit of rotation that's showing up. No tornado warnings at the moment, but remember, it usually takes about an hour and a half after storms develop, unless your atmosphere is extremely ripe for tornadoes. But it takes a little time for that storm to kind of evolve and develop, and that's why the circulation doesn't immediately develop after the storm forms. So multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, all moving a little south of Fort Smith. We'll show you the radar. There's the circulations that are on the southwest side. They're fairly weak. A lot of rain, though, heavy rain and hail coming down along I-540. That's going to be passing on the south side of Fort Smith. That's moving right over the Fort Smith Regional Airport and the radar as well. So we're watching all of those conditions. Let's go back to the track of the one cell that's knocking on the doorstep of Washington County. And guess what? A new severe thunderstorm warning will be coming out and extending it farther eastward as we go to Max 2.
Dan, I want to bring your attention to that cell you were just talking about further south in the River Valley. Over in our National Weather Service account, it says that some of the emergency managements are getting spotter reports of a possible circulation due west of Panama. So that would be right on that cell we're talking about.
Yeah. We'll have to watch every single storm, every single circulation. I appreciate the reports. And by the way, if you have any pictures, we've had a lot of pictures today, and we appreciate each and every one of them. But here's where you can go. Submit your weather photos and videos. You can scan that QR code right there. That'll give you the very latest information. We appreciate that as you brought that up. Going back to our mega Doppler source on Max 1, you'll see this circulation here kind of tightening up a little bit. And you still see the bright greens. That's winds flowing towards the radar, and red, and we can kind of see how that rear flank downdraft is starting to wrap around. Man, I wish we had our Lincoln camera, but unfortunately, there's just way too many storms this week. Lightning struck it, destroyed the router and everything else, and we replaced the basically the power supply, and it still didn't bring the camera back. So we'll have to replace that, but take a look at the reflectivity. This is about to move into the Fayetteville area. So all along US Highway 62, Prairie Grove, Farmington, all those areas going to have to watch this storm closely. Now, we do have a camera that's located at Mount Kessler Mountain, and we could be looking off to the south. This is looking more southerly. Westerly, we're looking in a tower, but this will give us an idea of that storm that's coming into our area. So just a nasty, nasty storm with large hail, and the hail just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, it keeps getting bigger. Still showing 2.61 inches just right along US Highway 62.
Here's what I want to do. We've been doing this before, and I think it's really interesting to show the elevated hail core. So we're able to take the storm, put it in 4 dimensions, which I know sounds fancy, but it really does have a very good purpose. So here's a look at the storm. And when we go to our baseball size hail indication, we can see this storm is starting to develop baseball size hail. Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Get to see a little bit of that base. Thank you, Leslie.
If we're able to pull up
you've
Mega
got that
Doppler.
on Kessler Mountain. I'm
Yes,
developing this.
exactly.
Yes. So let's go to Mega Doppler real quick, and we'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to take this storm, and this is going to be on Max. Yeah, we don't have
I
it
got
up
it.
on
I'll
Max
pull it
1.
up. I have it on
Yep.
Max 1
Good
now.
deal. Max 1. So we got it on Max 1. Here's a look at the hail core, and there's about 2-inch hail, 2.5-inch hail that's headed towards Summers, so on Highway 59. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at it in 4 dimensions. So this is a look at the hail that's developing aloft in the storm. And this is exactly what happened this morning. And you can see over time that starts falling to the ground, but new hail is developing. So this tells me that this storm continues to strengthen, and it's producing this hail core aloft that will eventually start to make its way to the ground. And when that happens, that's going to be over north of Lincoln and Rhea. And there you see the hail that's increasing in size. And guess what? This is headed right for the south side of Fayetteville. If it turns left a little bit, it'll be in downtown Fayetteville. So we're just before 5 o'clock here, 4:46. We've got a new track on this hail core that's coming in. And we're going to take a look at some of the comments. We're going to see hail again. Yes. People on the Facebook and the live stream are asking. Yes, you're going to see hail again. And in fact, some sizable hail might even be bigger than what we had earlier.
Yeah, this is definitely bigger than what we had earlier in this area. Just an active atmosphere this evening.
Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at that hail core again in 4 dimensions, because it really gives us an idea when this storm is about to drop its giant hail core. So we'll see if it updates, and also a little bit of an inflow tail too with this cell. So the newest scan is going to be coming in real soon, but that gives you an idea. Anywhere you see that white, That is essentially hail that's being produced in the thunderstorm. And look at this. It's still aloft.
Still suspended.
Which means the updraft is still supported.
It's still supporting the weight of this hailstone. And that means that Summers probably isn't even receiving a whole lot of rain either as this core comes in. So a very, very intense storm that's moving in. And we want to know where this is going. And I know you're probably like, when does it hit me? And I understand that. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at a track, and we'll do this on Max 2 as we track this 35 miles per hour to the east. We're right over the most dangerous portion of the storm, and this is going to take it over Fayetteville at 520 and Wyman at 527. We have to watch as cell interactions occur on the southwest side of that cell, which could prompt, again, stronger rotation, which could lead to perhaps some tornadic activity. And remember, we're very close to that tornado watch. Yes, Leslie.
I also have to add that with the latest warning, they said 40 miles per hour instead of 30 or 30 the last time we looked at it. So slowly and little by little, it's beginning to ramp up.
Increase its speed, yeah.
Exactly. So the times are sooner than what we said earlier on.
Well, let's adjust that track then. We'll update that.
No, this track is adjusted. I'm just letting you know.
You did
that.
update
Yes,
it.
I did update it because earlier Fayetteville was saying just after around 5:30. Now it's 5:20.
Yeah.
So something people do want to take into consideration.
And let's move that track on the right-hand side of that heavy core, because people might think, oh, that's the time when it starts raining. Now that's the time when the hail comes in.
Exactly.
But you're going to be experiencing the heavy rain before that. Now I know everything is nice and quiet over Fayetteville right now. Let's go ahead, if we can, and bring up, we want to bring up a 3-box. And I want to bring up the, let's bring up the Kessler Mountain camera, and we'll bring that up full screen so we can get this as a view of it's coming in. So we'll be able to bring that up and never lose sight of that storm as it begins to develop, which could lead to a stronger circulation. Davion, are you seeing circulation beginning to ramp up?
I am still seeing circulation. I'm switching radars right now, so don't bring up Mega Doppler just yet. But the latest scans continue to show that circulation. It still has strong inflow, not necessarily a tight couplet just yet, but that does tell me that this could be some wind-driven hail as well, and that's certainly going to cause some problems over the next few minutes. Right downtown Lincoln right now.
Yeah, Lincoln is getting hit with very strong winds, and the hail core is just on the north side of it. So, yes, we are interrupting television coverage. We're about to have our 5 o'clock newscast, and it's already been a very busy weather day for news. You had large hail that came down in parts of Washington County and Benton County. We got a lot of pictures, we got a lot of reports coming in, and now we've got another round of storms. So people are hard-pressed to believe, yes, another round of hail is moving in. And unfortunately, the conditions are here for this storm to maybe be even a little more intense. So hopefully the tornadic conditions don't evolve as expected. And remember, we had a lot of cloud cover, and then it rained, but it did warm up pretty dramatically as we warmed up into the upper 70s.
And Dan, I want to make a point here.
Yes.
I do have the Fort Smith radar located on Mega Doppler now. I do want to make a point about the warning box. Necessarily, the area of circulation is right on the southern side of that warning box, right, pretty much downtown Lincoln. So the warning box is showing you where the hail is at, but necessarily the circulation could just be on the bottom side of that, likely outside of the box. So we'll likely see a bigger box be drawn here pretty soon.
And that's pretty common, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah, you see that circulation on the south side. Look at the hail now, 3 inches, probably still being suspended aloft. This is big, folks. This is the biggest hail that we've seen since, honestly, that July storm that happened back in 2018. Yeah, there you see the hail core still suspended aloft. Is that the latest?
That is the latest.
That's the latest one, yeah. We're still having that large hail, baseball size hail that's being suspended aloft, so it hasn't hit the ground. What you'll see, though, is once it gets too heavy, it's going to start coming down to the ground, and it's going to get as low as the bottom of the radar beam can see. So here we are at 451, and we have Mega Doppler 4D located on there to show you that supercell. Now, I know there's other storms in the River Valley, and we got to watch those because they could prompt and become warned here even stronger. So, but this is definitely the most dangerous storm. Now, it does appear that North Fayetteville will probably see a smaller hail core unless the storm splits, which is a possibility, or it left turns a little bit. But that is a pretty nasty storm. And again, Lincoln would have an amazing view of this cell. But we do have that weather bow network camera from Kessler Mountain, which is located right here. and we're looking off to the southwest, west-southwest, as we're watching that storm move in. Kind of gray, kind of gloomy. We go back to the reflectivity, and you'll see it's not even raining over Fayetteville. It's beginning to maybe lightly sprinkle, but the majority of this storm is off to the west of that. Now, I want to go back to, if we can, on Max 1. We're going to go to radar closest. We're going to look at these cells in the river valley. So we've got 3 additional cells that are severe thunderstorm warned. 2 of them include our weather coverage area. 1 of them is in Sebastian County. This is going, as we take a look at the time of the warning here, it's going to go until about 5:15. That's what I was expecting. And notice radar indicated you got golf ball size hail potentially at 60 miles per hour winds. Then you got the next severe thunderstorm warning. None of these have the tornado possible tag, and not surprised at that because the circulation might just still be evolving. But you've got 5:15, 60 miles per hour winds, and 1.5-inch hail. Now, if we look at the actual rotations within the storm, you're starting to see them getting a little bit tighter. And so we'll be watching this closely. Remember, we are into that tornado watch, and that tornado watch is going until 7 p.m. So we'll take a look here at the watches and warnings that we have across the screen, and this will populate, and you'll get to see exactly where that tornado watch is. Okay, let's go, if we can, to Max 2. We got another track on that. There's the cell that we're watching that has a large hail core that's about to move into, like we said, West Fayetteville, Southwest Fayetteville, Farmington, Prairie Grove, going to be a little south of the largest hail. But there's the new severe thunderstorm warning, as the storm might be tracking a little more to the southeast. That's why we were mentioning how a hail core might be missing it. So new severe thunderstorm warning. We'll tap on that. We'll get the information.
And for this one, the speed is now 50 miles per hour.
Is 50?
It's 50, back to 50.
So it's cranked. It's moving pretty quick. So as we mentioned before, anybody that's on I-49 here within the next 20 minutes will be seeing blinding rains, wind-driven hail, hail large enough to damage your vehicle, bust out your windshield, and we're continuing to track this. Now, here's a look at the hail cores again. And Davion, at the meantime, anytime we're looking at the tracks, I know you're monitoring the radar and the very latest.
Yeah, I just want to give a quick update. That newest warning, it looks like they dropped the considerable tag on it as of late, but that may likely be because the hailstorms are still aloft.
Yeah.
On the latest scan, they haven't necessarily translated to the ground just yet.
I mean, I'm still seeing them. If we go to Max 1, you can see the hail core and kind of see how it's turned a little more east-southeast. That's why the warning is taking it southeast into southern Fayetteville. But Fayetteville going to be impacted by this storm, and the largest hail core, Leslie is drawing out the new track, and we'll have that here coming up in just a bit. But that's what I'm concerned about with this storm, is the largest hail core right along Highway 62 right now.
Yep.
And Mega Doppler, let's take a look at that again.
Yep, I have that 4D scan up for a Mega Doppler right now.
We'll bring that up here.
This is the latest scan, so it still shows.
It still is aloft.
It's still aloft.
Yeah. And maybe it dropped down a little bit, but I would expect another considerable tag with this cell as it moves east. Are they mentioning anything about why they don't have that considerable? You can actually see the base of the storm now from our Kessler Mountain Weather Bug Network camera. And it
Not
looks
necessarily as of right now.
Looks fairly low too. Why don't we bring that up full real quick? Weather 3. You can kind of see it off in the distance. It's a little hard to see, but that's our Kessler Mountain Weather Bug Network camera. One of our better views of this cell since our other camera went out. I want to take a look here at Mount Sequoia.
We also have the iDriver network, or the iDrive network, up with a 3x3 grid. So we're showing 9 different cameras here, mostly around the Fayetteville region.
We'll bring that up here and we take a look. And that's going to be on Max 1. Can bring that up full. There you see all the cameras. And so everything's nice and quiet, right? It's a beautiful evening commute, not for much longer, as this storm will be moving in. And this will give us a great view. So you can see all the locations that we've got. Fayetteville exit 64. You've got 62 here, north side of Fayetteville. I-49 67.8 mile marker. Also Razorback Road. This is probably going to be the area that gets impacted the most. This is on the south side of Fayetteville. And then you work your way a little bit farther south, and you've got that view coming over Fayetteville northbound. That's a very classic when you top the ridge of I-49. So let's go back to the radar. We'll take a look here at what we've got on Max 2. Leslie, the track, you're taking it a little more farther southeast.
Yes, I did. And before I go over the track, I do want to mention that there's been several people from our live stream reporting already that they've been seeing about golf ball sized hail in Lincoln.
Okay.
So it's definitely something we have to take into consideration, especially if you live in this area. So by 5:02, Prairie Grove, you guys could expect to see some hail, maybe not the full base of it or the heaviest of it, but could still expect to see some of that hail, of course, by 5:02. Farmington by 5:06, Fayetteville by 5:12, especially South Fayetteville, you guys might be under the gun with this one. And then Harris by 5:19, 5:22, Elkins. Keep in mind that the track, because this storm is beginning to speed up. So Fayetteville, we saw it at 5:20 earlier. Now we're seeing it at 5:12. So you guys definitely want to make sure you can secure any objects that you can.
Getting faster and faster, and winds, and also
exactly.
wind-driven hail, as you mentioned too.
Yep, I have the latest scan on Mega Doppler of the hail core and exactly where it's at suspended. Looks like downtown Lincoln did see the brunt of some of those hailstones. Now Prairie Grove, you guys are next. Walnut Grove, just as Leslie just alluded to. This will be moving right along US Highway 62, and unfortunately, this is rush hour now, so it's certainly going to have some impacts as the storm makes its way east.
And here's I-49 right here, south of Fayetteville. So the hail core is still a little west of there, moving eastward pretty quickly. It's just close to 5 o'clock when we're going to start our 5 o'clock newscast. Obviously, weather is top story as we cover this dangerous storm with destructive hail potential and continues to increase. And Davion, is that hail remaining suspended in the thunderstorm here? We're going to take a look at that and bring up the Mega Doppler for it. So there it is, still some large hail that's suspended. So this storm, it's not done yet. It's still has those suspended hailstones. Now, some of them have fallen. We need to report that golf ball hail in Lincoln because that's going to possibly lead to that considerable tag, because that's golf ball hail that makes the storm considerable. Look at the base of the thunderstorm off in the distance too. And what's that circulation looking like? It looks like it's kind of congealing with additional cells, which can lead to cell mergers, and sometimes that can lead to a little bit of stronger rotation. We'll go back to here. We'll look at let's go ahead and we'll look at the velocity on this. So here's the look at the velocity. So yeah, you can see a bunch of different cells that are coming together. So that's kind of limiting the circulation potential, but still plenty of inflow showing that this is a healthy storm.
Yep.
And it looks like, as of now, Fayetteville, as we go back to that hail core, it's turned southeast, as you see from the severe thunderstorm warning. So that's probably going to be missing Fayetteville and downtown Fayetteville. So looks like, there you can see the largest hail core is going to be south, but still some heavy rain going to be moving in. And we can start to even see hail on our Kessler Mountain WeatherBug Network camera bouncing off the camera dome. And that's just at the very beginning stages of the thunderstorm. Let's bring that up full if we can on Weather 3. And you'll see that from Kessler Mountain, some of those hailstones that are bouncing off of the camera dome. So there you go. That's right on the leading edge of the storm too. So we're going to start hearing some rumbles of thunder. It's going to be getting a lot louder here in Fayetteville and in the studio. There you can see the largest hail core too. It's out right on the right side of the screen. So right here, you've got this milky white. That's where that hail core is located. And we're talking possibly, as we mentioned, 2 to 2.5 inch hail and new severe thunderstorm warning. And this is probably going to be a continuation of this. And it's going to be considerable now again, as they've been watching. Or it could be in the River Valley too. It looks like it is. So we got severe thunderstorms in the River Valley that are considerable as well. So let's bring up Max 1 real fast.
Yep, that's that far southern cell.
There it is, golf ball hail. And this has the best potential if it would produce any type of tornadic activity. So far, everything's been kind of tame with that, and we're thankful for that. But this would be the cell that would not have any other disturbance or any type of impedance in terms of the inflow for it, which means that you got all that warm air that's surging into the storm. That's going to have the best chance to tornado if, in fact, it ever does. But all these other cells
new considerable severe thunderstorm warning.
And Dan, that cell that you're mentioning is moving east at 40 miles per hour right along US Highway 270.
All right, we'll go ahead and we'll put a track on this. There's already been a number of power outage reports from earlier today. So a lot of that power was restored, but we probably will have additional power outages from lightning, from gusty winds, from wind-driven hail all sorts of things. You can see the hail getting bigger too on that Kessler Mountain Weather Bug Network camera. New strong severe thunderstorm warning. We'll take a look at that one as it's popping up. And there's the new one for the River Valley. That's for the Greenwood area. So all of these storms are intensifying. And another thing too, Davion and Aleshli, is as the
New
temperatures
considerable severe
continue to
thunderstorm
be
warning.
warm and the winds start to increase in the lower levels, that is going to create a stronger shear environment, which could lead to, as we mentioned, that rotation. As of so far, the wind shear isn't quite as strong as it is to prompt that tornado potential.
Yep. And Dan, I want to bring your attention back to Mega Doppler really quickly, because we are starting to see more cells fire off just to the south of the main one that we were tracking over Prairie Grove. And if I bring up the hail, you can see that that one is starting to grow in size as well.
Yeah.
Already a quarter size just to the east of west, I should say, of Brentwood.
That is a large hail core too. So we'll be hearing hail in the station here real soon. Outside, we're just right on the western wall, so you'll be able to hear that wind-driven hail hitting the building here shortly. Largest hail, though, appears to have gone down in size.
Yep.
Let's take a look here and see if this hail core has dumped. If we look at Mega Doppler 4D, and we'll able to see if, in fact, it's still suspended.
Mhm.
So here we go. Yeah, I don't see it anymore. Do you?
Nope.
Okay, so it looks like go back in time just a little bit. Make it a little bit wider, and then you'll see, yeah. So it looks like that hail core has, in fact, dropped. Okay. Well, that's good news, but it's still large enough for golf balls potentially, or maybe just a little under golf balls. Still severe, though. A severe thunderstorm warning continues. You can see that remains for all of across southern and southeastern Washington County. There's the lightning that's starting to increase and additional cells popping up. Let's go ahead and
I also have
yeah.
the iDrive network pulled up
Okay,
on
yes.
weather too. That way we can pull it up in full, because I believe you can begin to see, especially in the bottom right corner, Pitkin corner, just as mile marker 49 looking southbound, you can definitely see where it's pretty much a white out.
Yeah,
So you
super
will.
heavy rain, just blinding rains. So we'll bring that up. Can we go to weather one? There you go. We got weather one. We got the iDrive network, and you're talking about that camera southbound.
Yep.
And that is located at Pitkin Corner. So that's on the south side of Fayetteville. And look at the people putting their hazards on, obviously, heavy rain. Everywhere else, maybe not as much. And we're still not even in the hail yet. The hail is still to the west of northwest Arkansas. But like we mentioned, that hail core has decreased a little bit in size. So
I want to bring your
news.
attention really quickly, Dan, to another cell that's just to the south. I've been keeping an eye on this in the latest velocity scan. This is to the cell that's just to the south of West Fork. Also by Winslow, starting to see a little bit of a couplet on velocity.
Let's check that out here, and we'll take a look. So there's an update to the severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, you can kind of see that cell beginning to merge as we go to Howell Heating Cooling Mega Doppler. As a matter of fact, bring that up on Max 1. And I agree with you. If we look at this, there's the TVS. And look, there's the circulation, and there's a cell that's encountering it on the southwest side of it.
Yep.
So bring that up. There's that's it right there, just to the north of Devil's Den.
They need
State
to report
Park.
this in our Slack accounts.
Yeah. Go ahead and type that in as that cell merger takes place. Now, maybe it'll just be a brief circulation. Wow. Check out the Kessler Mountain camera.
Michael
and you
Craddock.
can see that. Yeah, we got one of our storm spotters, Michael Craddock. Is he streaming at the moment?
Hey, Dan, if you can hear me, no, it's not working at the moment.
Okay.
Not very well.
No worries. Understandable. Well, what do you got? What's a report, Michael?
Okay, well, we're at the Casey's gas station here in Prairie Grove, sorry. And we just had a little bit of hail core come through. It briefly lasted just maybe a minute and a half. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. We're getting more right now, as a matter of fact.
Okay, and they just upgraded it to considerable as well,
Yep.
by the way. A considerable severe thunderstorm warning. So you're in Prairie Grove. What was the size of the hail so far?
Quarter. I would say quarter. We don't have anything bigger than that at the moment.
Okay, it looks like they had a golf ball report in Lincoln, and that was a report that came out from one of our viewers.
Yep.
They're starting to get bigger right now, as a matter of fact. And it's really starting to come down now.
Okay. We appreciate that. And then to the south of that, there is a circulation that's starting to develop, and this is close to the Devil's Den State Park. And yeah, we need to watch that area as those two storms kind of congeal. And this is riding right along the warm front too.
Yep.
So this is going to be a circulation that might continue to strengthen. It's something to watch. We'll continue to monitor. You can see how the radar is picking up a TVS. So how are the winds, Michael? If you're still on the line, Michael Craddock, one of our spotters, he's in the Prairie Grove area. How strong were those winds?
The winds before it got here was pretty strong. I would say probably 50 to 60, something as such.
Okay. So
right now, there's hardly any wind. Lightning just had a lightning bolt just hit right now, real close to it.
I know there's going to be a lot of lightning, and these storms are highly electrified. The atmosphere is angry, and it's just nonstop severe weather over the last several days. But we still have that hail core beginning to move into northwest Arkansas and I-49 corridor. So be ready for that.
Okay.
Power outages are going to be an issue too. And Doug and Allie, they're in our they're basically in our studio right now. And if they have any reports, you just raise your hand, let me know, and we'll pass that along.
I'm watching that RDOT camera just near the Winslow area as well. I know we're watching the one kind of south of Fayetteville, between Fayetteville and Greenland for the hail.
Yeah.
But also just where that rotation you're noting near Winslow on I-49. I'm kind of keeping my eyes. I think it's exit 49 just to see if I see anything come over the mountaintop.
Yeah,
there.
we appreciate that. Yeah, that'll be a great view there as we're watching. Looks like that circulation might have weakened some, but still that storm is intense, and any one of these cell mergers could lead to or prompt to a stronger circulation. So far, though, everything hasn't quite been there. Here's a look at the heavy rain. Look at that. It was dry earlier. Now you can see people as they're driving, potential for hydroplaning. When you know it's heavy when they have the hazards on, and look at that water. I mean, it's like water puddles as you're driving through, and you don't want to hydroplane on those interstates. So be aware of that, and we're watching that closely. So we've got multiple storms in the River Valley as well. So we're 508. We're covering severe weather. We got multiple storms, not only in northwest Arkansas, but in the River Valley as well. So far, no tornado potential. We've seen some circulations. There hasn't been a prompt of any tornado possible with those severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings. So that's good news. Hopefully that remains the case, but we still have that tornado watch officially in effect. So any of these storms could circulate and strengthen a little bit more. And I think once we get closer to nighttime and about 7 to 8 o'clock, what we call the magic hour, unfortunately, and it's magic for a bad reason, but those low-level winds start to increase, and that creates the environment available for tornado potential. That's iDrive right there, and that is a heavy rain coming down. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look. Davion, on Mega Doppler, we've got 3 storms in the River Valley. They're all considerable, and it looks like maybe the hail cores have come down a little bit.
Yeah, they certainly have.
Each of those southwest portions of the line.
Yep. And there's a look at some of those hail cores. I was just showing you the latest scan, showing you just what you said. They have come down. Notice Panama reporting hail over a quarter in size. And that was close to 2 inches. That report was just to right over Panama. And it looks like that hail is starting to fall to the ground. And that's why those volumes, I should say, are getting a little less. We're also very close to the radar in this area as well.
It's another important thing to know that when you get closer to the radar beam can't go as high, so it doesn't get the whole volume. So it's not able to see exactly what that hail size is. So it starts looking like it's getting smaller, but it actually doesn't. A very good point on that. So I want to take you through all these warnings, and there's the track of that system that's coming through Drake Field right now. Not hearing any hail outside of the studio, so I wonder if that hail core missed us just to the south or if it's still moving in. We'll check that out in just a bit. But we've got severe thunderstorm warnings that are considerable for LaFleur County, and also in areas for, as we saw in Sebastian.
Yeah, Dan got a report on this. NWS Tulsa Lincoln storm in Washington County continues to have weak low-level circulation, with other cells being ingested and merging into its southern flank. This storm will be interacting with the surface boundary soon, which may increase the short-term tornado threat, thus the tornado warning possible tag, or tornado possible tag.
Okay, so we do have that tornado possible tag. Was it issued? Let's check it out here. We'll go back to northwest Arkansas, and we'll see here. Yeah, there it is. So we do have that tornado possible tag. I want to look at the hail core in Fayetteville because we were mentioning talking about it, where it was at. Let's take a look at Mega Doppler real quick. And yeah, so south side of Fayetteville, just as we mentioned earlier when the storm was directly headed towards Fayetteville, now it's turned to the south. And so hail has decreased in size a little bit, but still right along I-49, Greenland, West Fork, Brentwood. And I know you've been watching that iDrive camera, Doug. Are you seeing any type of
I'm looking
lowering?
right there at Greenland. I'm not seeing that.
Yeah.
At Greenland, it looks incredibly different than it did 5 minutes ago when you showed it. If
Yeah.
you take exit 58 camera or the 59 camera, both are just a washout, a complete washout right now with rain, and I would imagine hail involved in that as well.
Okay.
It just, you can't, and you just saw a lightning strike as well in the midst of that.
Yeah.
Again, this is just south of Fayetteville. Keep looking down near where the rotation was in the Winslow area. The cameras are facing in the opposite direction. I kind of need them to put, and
That
a couple of
happens often,
them, a couple
yeah.
of them show to be offline at the last second. They were working and now they're not.
My mom lives just around the corner from here, and she lost power.
Okay.
So she's
Okay.
texting me right now.
So that's what we expect with these storms moving in, heavy rain, gusty winds.
Tunnel cam, if you that one, well, I say the
Mhm.
tunnel cam, but it's looking southbound as well. So that's probably not, because everything, that rotation is north of the tunnel, correct?
Yes.
So it's too. They have the cameras. They all seem to be the ones that are working facing
The wrong way.
the opposite direction. It's just by chance. It's not by design, obviously. So
That happened with the Mountain View tornado last night too. It was pointed southbound, and if it was pointed northbound, we might have been able to see that tornado.
exit 45 is north of the rotation, and it is pointing southbound. So that one may be of assistance if we see it. Again, it's very kind of a mountainous region there.
Okay, so we've got two cells that are kind of merging, and we'll be watching this isolated cell as National Weather Service out of Tulsa, a persistent, weak, low-level rotation, but this is a cell that's continuing to intensify. So now we're having the cell that's to the north being overtaken by the cell to the south, as you see a new hail core beginning to develop. If you're camping at Devil's Den State Park, this is a dangerous storm,
Look at that.
and some large hail is starting to develop and pop up. Yeah, so we can pull that up if you
Yep.
want. We could actually do that on a one panel.
Okay.
But that is, let's look at that circulation. It looks like it was trying to ramp up a little bit by Devil's Den State Park. There you go, right there, a little bit of an area of rotation that's showing up, and so we'll be watching that closely. That's the I-49 and exit 45, right?
This
Yeah,
is 45.
45.
exit 45.
The banner across the top is
Well,
that shot.
we
is
have it on
blocking
that one, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're able to see
Well, I
heavy,
can
heavy
see
rain all
it here.
across the area. Yeah, that's not the same one.
State Highway 74, exit 45.
Yep.
That's a different
we'll
shot.
We'll get a different one.
That's
yeah.
that's not the same.
That's 74, not I-49. Yeah. So I got you. Exit 45.
Highway 74.
Huh. That was interesting. Wonder if they changed the view, or maybe maybe that camera was a little delayed. But if you can bring that up in the control room, that's a great shot of the lowering. You can see it. Yeah.
The other one.
Okay. Good deal. We'll do that. Circulation there and circulation there, and that's still not the one, is it? No. But this is a storm that we've got to watch. It's isolated. It's out ahead of any other additional cells.
Notice the hail
Large
cores.
hail core increasing. That shows you a strengthening storm. Anytime a storm strengthens and it's by itself and it rides a boundary, that boundary, basically what happens is you have winds moving from different directions in the lowest levels, and that's what can create that spin. But the Devil's Den, the hail core is suspended right over you, and now starting to move east towards Winslow and Barnyard. And you can see Mount Gaylor, some of those rural areas and communities as it crosses I-49, and then it's going to be moving into the area of Highway 71. If we can bring up that iDrive camera, it's going to be right around here. Here's exit 45, Winslow, and just to the south of that, we'll continue to watch that. So we're doing that in the Prod PC, but there's a look at the area of rotation.
New
Trying to
considerable
develop. It's
severe
still
thunderstorm
struggling,
warning.
though, isn't it?
It
Just
is.
a little bit.
It
That's
is.
good. Struggle all day and all night. That'd be perfect. Okay, so I want to do a quick reset because we got to do this. We're going to do a widespread reset as we look at multiple storms across the area. So let's go ahead and we'll look at the big picture here. We'll pan way out. So we've got a severe thunderstorm warning that is in Washington County. We've got 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. These are all considerable in the River Valley, just like the storm in Washington County. Now, the good news is if you're watching in Benton County, I think we're almost done with the severe weather threat that's going to be moving out. We had our storms earlier this morning. That's kind of cooled the temperatures, and that's why we're not seeing as much storm activity. Now, it doesn't mean another storm can't develop, but not really seeing a whole lot in Benton or Carroll County for that matter. But Washington, Madison, and Newton County needs to be watching these cells really closely as they will continue to encounter that environment. Then you have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings that are currently in effect, one that goes until 6 o'clock. You have 1.25-inch hail. That is the size of $50. Work our way south, and you'll see Spyro as well in an area for severe thunderstorm warning. Goes until 6 o'clock and until 5:45. A lot of information on there, but we wanted to provide all of that. And the last one, golf ball size hail moving towards Worcester. All of these severe thunderstorm warn, no tornado possible tags. Now, Allie, you mentioned that your mom is without power. Maybe we can get a report.
Back on.
Oh, it's back on.
Yes, she just texted me
Yeah,
back.
a little flicker. Then that works. Okay, good deal. I wonder if there's other power outages that we're seeing. If we go to poweroutage.us, maybe getting a look at what's happening.
And Dan,
Hey,
I
Dan.
wanted to.
We do have
go
our
ahead.
Cartwright camera
You
too.
go
Don't forget
first.
that we can view this storm even better than some of the other cameras.
Yep.
Yes.
Dan, I was just going to make a quick point that we're starting to see another hail core form just to the southwest of Lincoln. And this is an area that was just hit by the previous cells that we were watching. So some of these same areas will be dealing with some of these thunderstorms over and over again. And that could spark a little bit of a flash flood threat as well.
That's another thing too. We've had the heavy rain. You saw that on I-49. We do have video, by the way. We're going to take that when we can get it from Lincoln. We've got video of the hail coming down. As we mentioned, you can scan those QR codes. Let's go ahead and we'll bring that up. We'll take a look at some Lincoln hail, and here you get to see some of the hail that came down. About golf ball size. Looking at the truck. Doug, it's not your truck, thankfully, but it is his. And starting to shred those leaves off the trees. So that shows you it's getting a little bit bigger.
Not the best place for that lawnmower, right?
No. Probably cutting his grass and then going, oh, where did this thing come from? As it was sunny throughout the afternoon, but that sunshine led to additional storms. So we appreciate that, and sorry about the truck if it incurred some damage. Again, the hail probably a little bit bigger to the east, but Lincoln's still getting some large hail. So something they're watching here, strong outflow racing out away from the storm, but then also at the very bottom left, there's a little bit of an area of rotation. So
Which I do want to touch on that because in NWS from NWS toll slab 516, they said low level meso apparent from the Fort Smith radar near Pensacola. Photograph from Fort Smith shows a decrease in curvature to more straight line winds in the latest scans.
okay, well, that's good news. Keep in mind too, if we're looking at the photograph, it's at SRX, and that's getting boundaried, so that's going to be the end of it. We got some video between West Fork and Winslow. We'll go to that. Okay, so Casey Smith, one of our reporters, he's going to be sending us some video. So this right now, look at the heavy rain. This is what you're driving in right here. This is between Winslow and West Fork on I-49. Yes,
Of hydroplaning, high winds as he was making that path south.
I believe that. All
If
right.
you pull up Max 2, I also have a current video from, this is coming from the tower camera, actually,
Yeah.
the tunnel tower camera. You can see it's basically white out, but about 2 minutes ago, you can tell it was very dark, pretty much sort of a low overhang over that camera now, but now it's pretty much white out across that area. And I also have Mountain Bird Cartwright camera. This
you
is
do?
facing a
Okay,
little
yeah.
bit northwest, and you can see exactly where that's
That's going to be on Weather 3. We'll bring up that Cartwright camera. So Weather 3,
There you go.
there you get to see that.
And that's the look a lot of those
New
RDOT
considerable
cameras had,
severe
and by the
thunderstorm
time I
warning.
relayed the information,
It was
the rain
already
would come
white
in
out,
and it
yeah.
was the rain wrapped, and boom, you couldn't see anything after
That's
that.
exactly
So,
the tunnel tower camera.
Yep.
Did the same thing.
They
had it pulled
happen
up,
quick, but you
low
can see
overhang.
that hail core, that milky white that you have across the area. That is the large hail core. So, yeah.
And speaking of hail cores, still have 2 pretty large ones. One is just to the east of Brentwood, and the other one is just moving over Devil's Den State Park, and this will be heading over towards Winslow as well. And it's still showing a little area that was over Hen Egg, that's 2 inches in diameter, as it has started to come down to the ground. And this is right along I-49.
Yeah, so multiple severe thunderstorm warnings. We continue to track severe thunderstorms across Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. And we've already seen a round of hail this morning. And these hailstones, huge this morning. We're talking 2.5 inches. We've got so many pictures. We're going to show a lot of that. But now we got to cover what's actually happening as additional storms continue to develop. So Devil's Den State Park, large hail core right on I-49. We were able to see that. We'll see if that circulation starts to ramp up at all. Additional storms that are popping up to the north, and those are in the southern sections of Washington County. I bet you a severe thunderstorm warning will get issued for Madison County. That's going to be happening here real soon as the storms track southeast. Also probably Franklin County as well. But so far, as Steve mentioned, kind of a little bit of a different look and the low-level shear. Speaking of that warning, it just popped up. So we'll take a look here at what we've got on Max 2, and we've got the latest severe thunderstorm warning. There it is, including Madison
New
County,
considerable
as well as
severe
southeastern
thunderstorm
Washington
warning.
County and northern Franklin County. So these storms are not weakening. They're still pretty intense, and we'll take a look at the latest information on this warning as I bring it up on Max 1. And it is considerable as well. So it just, these considerable tags, and just to let you know, this isn't exactly what happens with all storms. I mean, most storms are severe thunderstorm warned. It takes a lot to get it to be considerable, and it takes a lot more for it to become destructive. At the moment, we're having golf ball size hail with this cell that moves east. So this is going to be south of Huntsville, but St. Paul, Witter, Japton, Cass, Sunset, and extreme southeast Washington County, all those areas are going to be impacted by this storm potentially as it tracks east. And we'll get the latest track on that cell. Leslie, what's our motion on that storm?
It'll
as it
be
moves
40
east?
miles per hour, actually.
Okay. And there's that Cartwright camera, as Doug mentioned, that's what he was seeing, those lowerings, those cloud bases, and then all of a sudden completely shrouded in rain. And that's what we call rain wrap. So sometimes tornadoes can happen where that heavy rain happens and you don't even have a clue it's happening unless you see it in the radar. We're not seeing that, and that doesn't look like it's very much tornadic conditions with that cell, what we're seeing right there. We'll see if that changes over time. Wow, big time cloudy ground lightning strike.
Yeah, and I
too.
want to bring your attention down to the river valley. We are very close to the radar, so the scans will look a little wonky. I did set the storm motion to warning, but right where you have that little bit of a conjoint, if we could bring up Mega Doppler really quickly on Max 1,
Yep.
there you see this is the area that we pointed out once again. If I go to reflectivity, you can see how this does coincide a little bit with that appendage nonetheless. So we're keeping a close eye on that as we go down south. Normalized rotation is showing you the exact same thing. It's all lined up right there.
And it could happen. I mean, we've had a ripe environment, like we mentioned. So far everything's been kind of tame, but we'll see if that strengthens and cranks up even more.
I will mention from NWS Tulsa, Stephen Cobb said mid-level mezzo is moving towards Hackett, though nothing in the low levels at this time.
Yep.
But that storm appears to be surging eastward.
And there you go. There's the latest scan of that. This is the exact cell we were talking about.
Yeah. And a little bit of gusty winds on the outflow. So you're not only dealing with, the hail potential, but also some gusty winds and torrential downpours. We're talking some extremely heavy rain. So 5:25, we're approaching the end of our 5 o'clock newscast on KNWA, but these storms are still intense. And we've got golf ball size hail. Now, we don't have any tornado warnings, but with these storms being so destructive and what we had earlier today with the damage that happened and the potential for large hail like that again, we are continuing to track these storms and providing that service to keep people aware of what's going on. So over northwest Arkansas, another core that's moving in, but it is not as strong, but it will produce some heavy rain. That's moving right up Highway 62, coming towards the Fayetteville area. Another cell that's to the west of that, that is by West Peavine and Westville. And then you got that stronger cell. This we have to watch closely because that definitely has that supercell potential as it continues to track to the east. So far, just not all the ingredients coming together. It's like the ingredients of baking cookies, and we don't have them all right now. And thankfully, that means the tornado potential is not as great. I'm going to look at some of the chat comments here. See if anybody's mentioning it's hailing here. Where is the tornado possible tag? So that was in the storm in Washington County, and that's since been dropped, I do believe.
Yep. Still showing you Mega Doppler. You can still have 2 large hail cores. One is right over Winslow right now, and the other has started to move a little bit south, just due north of Chester. Still showing you an area that could have over 2 inches in diameter of hail. You see that latest hail report, 2.13 inches in hail size. And these are two cells that are starting to interact together, that have been really interacting together over the past 20 to 30 minutes or so throughout the duration of this live coverage, and certainly going to continue to move east. And further down the line, St. Paul, Pettigrew, Whittier, Japton, you guys will be next in line to receive some of the larger hailstorms stones in the near future.
And if we hop on over to Max 2, I do have a storm track set from this storm in particular, the one that just passed over Winslow and Interstate 49. But as we can see, sunset by 5:33, you could expect to see some of this hail, if not the heavy rain already over you guys, falling down as we continue to speak. By 5:38, you have Brannon in the path, 5:48 Combs, 5:54 St. Paul, 5:59 Dutton, and 6:03 Pettigrew. Now, keep in mind that these storms have been moving anywhere from 40 to 50 miles per hour, depending on the warning. But one thing's for certain, these storms are moving quickly. So you definitely do want to keep in mind your cars that may be outside at any given point could deal with some damage. We saw that from this morning's storms. I would not be surprised if that hail core farther up north did dump enough large hail to also cause additional damage to the area farther up in Fayetteville. We do want to keep in mind the damage that you could potentially see from this. Not only that, you also have wind gusts being reported of up to 70 miles per hour as well. So this is definitely going to be causing hazardous driving conditions. We've already seen whiteouts in certain areas. And on top of that, you're going to be feeling that wind as well.
Yep. And if we could bring up,
I'm going to bring up real quick RDOT on
Okay,
Max 1. So you can kind of see that base off in the distance. This is after the core has already come through. And that is looking southbound from the tunnel. And so if there's any type of circulation at all, any type of lowering, we would see it in the base of that storm. Right now, it looks pretty ragged. I wouldn't say anything is super defined. So that's good news. But we would be looking right in this region here. So this actually has a very good skyline and maybe some ragged clouds down there. And if there would be low-level rotation, you would start to see evidence of that with a very well-developed wall cloud and perhaps some lowerings. Now, this is something tricky in the Ozarks, and I've seen this a lot. Sometimes you get these vapor trails that come off the trees, and it looks like the clouds touching the ground, but it's actually an optical illusion. So like you're seeing right here, looks kind of low, but I don't see any strong circulation on the radar, but that's something that we'll have to watch. But look at the heavy rain just covering I-49, but now the visibility has cleared up, and you can finally see a lot better. So,
Dan, I will say,
No, go ahead, Doug. What you got?
Yeah.
If you get a just glance at mile marker 39, it's looking northbound, and it's
Okay.
got some little reachers coming down out of that base a little bit. It looks
I
like
also
to me.
wanted to mention you have Cartwright camera that's also in the mountains as well, and you can see how low those clouds are. It could be scary at times. So if we're able to pull up Weather 3, because I do have the Mountain Bright Cartwright camera.
And bring up
there
that
as
other
well.
one too that you were talking about, Doug. Go ahead and mention that mile marker 37. Is that what you were saying? 39. Okay.
All
Mile
right,
marker
I'm looking for
39.
it. Yep, I do have it here.
Yep.
Actually, there you
Kind
go.
of on the right side of that, it was looking kind of, well, it still does a little bit, unless I'm not seeing that clearly.
Yeah,
Is that blue sky or is that black cloud?
that's dark clouds. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the storm that's to the north. I want to go back to that Cartwright camera because boy, you can sure see that lowering. And is there a rotation on there? I'll have to watch that closely. We got that recording. Boy, you can see the motion in the clouds. There's no doubt about that.
Dan, I want to bring your attention down to the area.
How is that circulation looking at on the radar? Is it still pretty weak?
It was still a pretty weak, but it was a little elevated versus what I did tell you. The storm is not done though, because the hailstorms were starting to ramp up in size once again. In fact, they're over 2 inches in diameter once again. 2.45 inches radar indicated, and this is right over Mount Gaylor. It's moved over you. Winfrey, it's moved over you. So next in line will be Bidville and over towards Health. And so it's a little bit of a rural community right now, as you see on the camera, but certainly as going to continue to move east. I want to bring your attention to the cell down to the south, however, as we continue to watch that circulation tighten up. This is due west of Midland. We do have the latest image velocity scan on Mega Doppler right now. And even in our National Weather Service chat, they have noted about the low level circulation trying to develop near Midland, reflectivity also taking on a hook shape. So this could be a quick spin up of a tornado just to the west of Midland.
that could prompt
And this is
stronger circulation.
Yep.
What about that cell that we're looking at from Cartwright, due west of? So we'll see what that's got. I don't see anything there.
not
looks
looking at
looks
Very
very
weak there.
ominous, but it's
If
not
we're
really
able to
there.
pull up Max 2 in full, that way we can show Mega Doppler
Yeah.
on there, because I did pull it up on Max 2. I do want to bring our attention back to Midland, because I
Yep.
think that's where
Yep.
the main concern is now.
Yep.
Yeah.
NWS Tulsa, they've mentioned low-level circulation trying to develop near Midland, reflectivity also taking on that hook shape.
You can
They're
see that.
saying it's increasing in strength, and there's a strong meso aloft.
Yeah, so this is where that tornado potential. Remember, it was in the 80s today in the River Valley. Some strong rotation, earlier to the south of Oklahoma. So Oklahoma City, southern Oklahoma, some really intense circulations. But now, and North Texas too as well. West of Midland, this is what we're going to be watching. Let's do this. In case this does develop a tornado, let's zoom way in, and we'll get the very latest on these streets here. So we'll plot some streets for you, where the circulation is pretty much close to Hog Express 72, and you can see the block numbers, also North Shore Drive, as it approaches Midland, Cleveland Lane. So let's go ahead and we'll zoom out, give people kind of we'll remove those street names. Let's zoom out and give people an idea exactly where this is at. So central Sebastian County, there you can see that area of rotation that's showing up. Reflectivity will also have that as well. And we'll see that it's a little bit, in terms of reflectivity, tough to see, but there's the supercell. Remember, it's really close to the radar too.
Very
so we
close.
can look at the radar from a different location. We can look at it from INX. I'm going to bring that up here real quick, and we'll take a look here at this storm. So obviously when we go to Max 1, not quite as detailed, but there's a look from SRX, and then we work our way to INX, and you'll see a totally different look here with this cell. So I got to bring that up on a different view. So a little bit of a stronger cell, obviously, when you're looking at it from INX, and then we'll look at the velocity signature, and there it is. So this is quite a ways up in the atmosphere, and there's your strong circulation that's showing up. And if we zoom way in, that is right over Hackett and just to the north of Midland, moving towards Big Rock. Remember, this is a higher up, though, so that circulation was even stronger a little bit farther south. So low-level circulation increasing. Watching it closely, right there.
Watching it closely.
Mhm.
Still looks like a pretty impressive rotation. They're noting about it in our chat as well. This is right due west of Midland.
So we'll see if this prompts tornado potential. If it does, we're already live streaming. We're already on the air. We're already covering these storms. Now, here's one of those vapor trails. I want you to go to, if we can, our Weather 3 computer. This is what I was exactly talking about. It's very misleading, but you see those little vapor trails coming off the trees, connecting to the cloud, actually swirling up. You think, oh, that might be a tornado, but it's actually not. But it's wild. When I first got here and I moved into this area, you see that quite often. And boy, especially at night, it can be very misleading. But there are those little vapor trails, as I just mentioned and was talking about. That heavy rain and what we call the evaporation off the trees is what's leading to that. So kind of interesting to look at. But just wanted to kind of let you know, in case you're seeing that, that's not a tornado.
Dan, on
Yes.
our destructive or considerable, I should say, severe thunderstorm warning, the hailstorm size has went up once again. We're talking over 3 inches in diameter. Radar indicated exactly 3 inches. You can see this hail core. I'll zoom out a little bit and give you a one panel so you can see where I'm talking about.
Mhm.
This is southwest of St. Paul. Also want to bring your attention to that look of St. Paul. So I'll bring up the hailstorm first so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see it's a very large hail core, but notice how it is very much larger in size down to the south. Now I also want to bring your attention to the rotation in some of these cells, because it doesn't look, everything is still pretty broad, but I want to keep a very close eye on that area just to the north and west of St. Paul. That area could try to tighten up as well, as we continue to see both of these cells interact with each other.
Yeah, and we're
Certainly
watching
something
that
to
area
watch.
too by Midland as well.
Yep.
The other circulation. Yeah, anytime you get a real intense, strong hail core like that, that is something that can definitely be a little notification for us going, okay, this storm's intensifying. And if those low-level winds start to increase, we could have a little bit of greater tornado potential. So far, though, we haven't had a single storm that's been tornado warned. Hopefully that remains the case. We will have to watch, though, throughout the rest of the evening as these storms make their way through. But as we mentioned, Benton County really not seeing much. Washington County about to be out of the severe weather potential. And we've had 2 rounds, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Now we're at 5:36. If you're watching the live stream, it might be a little bit delayed. We're about to hit 5:37. That's why we got the seconds on Mega Doppler, so you know exactly when we're doing this live broadcast. But we're in the middle of our Fox 24 News at 5:30 broadcast. And weather, top story, we're covering it as we have some dangerous storms. New severe thunderstorm warning popping up. And we'll take a look at that as this storm is continuing to impact parts of the area. And this is going to be in the River Valley. So this is a base severe thunderstorm warning, though, meaning this is right at the criteria for winds at 60 miles per hour. And also you have penny or dime size hail. Yes, Leslie.
Dan, I do want to mention that NWS Tulsa, they're saying the latest rotational velocity south of Midland has decreased a little bit, but there's still a moderate spin on radar in the low levels.
Okay. We appreciate that. We're continuing to monitor that, watch the latest on that. Yeah, let's go into some hail video here. This is from Prairie Grove. We'll bring this up, and there's a look from McKay. This is a picture here.
Dan, I want to bring your
some
attention
giant
to
hail.
the area I called out just to the northwest of St. Paul. It is really ramped up on velocity scans.
Has it?
I called this area out just a few moments ago. It is in the considerable severe thunderstorm warning, and it looks like it's trying to go tornadic based on the latest velocity scans. This is a mesocyclone that is certainly developing. You can see what I'm talking about right here.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see that.
And I'll give you the progression of
So
that.
This is our Boonville camera. Let's go, if we can, to max 1.
Yep.
We'll watch that storm as it comes into Boonville. Leslie turning the camera so we have a good view looking off to the west. But let's look at let's do a split screen here, reflectivity and velocity, so we have a good idea as to what's happening with this cell. So there you go in dual mode. There's that leading edge of the circulation. Now, our view from our Huntsville camera is just going to be shrouded in rain, so you're not going to be able to see this at all. But there is that circulation, and this definitely shows the inflow as well as the outflow. Now,
New severe thunderstorm warning.
Let's look at the normalized rotation on this. There you get to see we're looking at weak rotation, but could prompt stronger rotation starting to show up. This is something that we'll have to watch very closely. Okay, so we got some video as well. This is some hail video coming down from Prairie Grove. And you can hear the sound. I mean, it's like, this is exactly why we went on the air, to let you know about this before it happened. And that's definitely some golf balls right there, shredding some trees.
Dan, I want to bring your attention. We're talking about that video. National Weather Service out of Tulsa has noted its storm is increasing and low-level meso is starting to take shape.
Okay.
And this is for this circulation that we're talking about.
Maybe this might be in the Madison County area. So if this does get warned, we got to track it. We got to let you know where it's headed. Let's go ahead and we'll put it into motion. I think it's moving northeast slowly at the moment. So let's go ahead and we'll go back in time. Actually, east-southeast. St. Paul, very, very close to that circulation as it moves through. So we'll be watching that closely. We're at 540 now as this storm makes its way eastward towards St. Paul Highway 16. And that's going to be moving in towards Crosses. And we zoom in a little bit more and you'll get some other locations as well. So on Max 2, we want to do a storm track on this, Leslie,
Yes,
as
I'm
we
on
get
it
the
right now.
latest. Yeah, she's on it and she's going to be drawing that track, and we'll wait until she gets that set up. Definitely, like you said, Davion, this circulation is starting to increase, and thanks for having the eyes on it. This is why we have multiple people looking at multiple storms at the same time, because you got one storm in the River Valley, rotation started to ramp up. Another storm in the northwest Arkansas area started to increase its circulation. But there's the track of this moving east-southeast. You got Boston at 5:53, Pettigrew coming in at 5:49, so about 9 minutes or so. No warning officially yet. We got a severe thunderstorm warning, but that circulation has prompted a little bit of a notice to the National Weather Service out of Tulsa, and as well as Davion too, and Leslie. We can go to Mega Doppler, and there's the tornado vortex signature that's starting to show up too on the radar. Don't see as much what we call rear flank downdraft, so we're seeing a lot of inflow showing up. If I see those colors start to brighten up that are going away from the radar, I'm going to be really concerned in terms of this storm.
Yep.
Already something to notice.
Also want to bring your attention to the cell down to the south in the River Valley.
Let's look at the NROT before we do that real quick. I just want to see what,
And yeah,
oh,
that's
really cranking up.
That's concerning. That's very concerning.
Look at how it's continued to increase its circulation. St. Paul, be ready if this storm gets warned. It's something to watch very closely. And we'll know immediately if this storm does get warned, as the low-level rotation has increased and moving east-southeast. So we track that. All right, Davion, you go to the other storm.
Yep.
I'm going to take do we have a view from our Huntsville camera? I'm
also want to note, just before we move this camera, you can see the latest hail size continuing to show 3 inches plus 3.46 inches in hail size.
Wow.
This is due northwest of Cass, the southern side of that circulation that we were just watching. So that's radar indicated, but certainly still very large hailstorms. This cell is not done and it's very angry.
No,
this is moving right over. It will be moving over State Highway 23. That's what that highway is right there.
And Leslie, if you can monitor some of the chat comments that are going on our live stream, we might be able to get some reports. That's our Huntsville Airport camera, and we're looking off to the southwest. I do believe. See, we can't see anything. You're not going to be able to see any type of structure at all because we're looking into the core. But there's that tornado vortex signatures. The radar is detecting strong enough rotation where we have to watch that very, very closely.
Dan, I do want to bring up something that Denton has mentioned. He said the angle has improved for the past 2 scans, both for Midland and for St. Paul, actually.
Okay.
He looked at Midland. He said the critical angle for that is 87 degrees now, so we really need to watch that. And for St. Paul, the critical angle is 86.7.
Take some screenshots of those photographs as well as we're continuing to monitor this. There's really strong inflow, so you can tell this storm is cranking up.
They noted stronger circulation included TOR possible in latest update for this circulation.
Okay, and TOR possible means that maybe it's not quite strong enough to prompt tornado warning potential, but we are getting very, very close to that. And potentially, if it continues to increase even more, we're almost there essentially in terms of tornado potential. But remember too, this is quite a ways away from the radar too, so there could be even a stronger circulation close to the ground. But we don't have any type of view of this cell. It's out in the middle of southern Madison County. Here's the new severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued. We'll take a look at that. As you
New
mentioned,
severe thunderstorm warning
has a severe thunderstorm with the tornado possible and considerable tag as well. So pretty intense storm.
Can I get a new IFB?
There's the newest one. All right, so Davion's IFB died. Here's a look at the storm that's in southern Newton County, and this is coming out of the National Weather Service out of Little Rock. Already looking at 1.5 ping pong size hail. Goes until 6:30. There's the core of that storm. This is an impressive, intense supercell thunderstorm for sure. Something to watch very closely. Getting a call here. Mute my microphone if you can real quick. I don't know who this is. Hold on.
Okay. Just got a new update. They continued the severe thunderstorm warning out to the east. This will be for Franklin and Madison counties, and it still does have the tornado possible tag on it. And that's for that cell that we were talking about right over St. Paul. Pettigrew, this will be heading towards you downstream in less than a few minutes. This will be traveling right along State Highway 16 as I begin to plot that. And you can see the circulation right now is really right over Highway 23, State Highway 23. St. Paul, you guys need to be in your tornado safe place as well as Pettigrew. And there you see the circulation.
And that Mansfield storm in the River Valley has prompted weather radio going off. We can go to Max 1. And we got a latest. Now we got a TOR possible on this as well, close to the Mansfield area. We appreciate that report. 60 miles per hour winds, quarter-size hail, and the tornado possible. So we've got 2 circulations that we're watching closely. This does appear like it's a pretty impressive supercell thunderstorm. Granted, we're
New
on the
severe
radar
thunderstorm
that's
warning.
in Fort Smith, but we look at a different radar, and you can see it's got a lot better structure to it. And we'll look at that too from our mega Doppler source, but we're watching 2 areas of rotation. Let me go ahead and give you the wide view. We're going to zoom way out. We're going to let you know where we're at, and we're going to let you know what we're seeing. So first of all, anybody in Benton County, Carroll County, no more severe weather at all. It's done. So you can see we're pretty much done with it. But Washington County, That's even starting to end. Madison County, this is a circulation that's headed towards southeast of Madison County, St. Paul, southern Newton County. You got northern Johnson and northern Franklin County. Severe thunderstorm warnings that are located in Sebastian County, as well as Scott County and western Logan County. Now, here's the deal. We do have our WeatherBug Network camera at Mount Magazine, and that hopefully is working. It's been a struggle to get these cameras.
In clouds.
So, yeah, that's shrouded in clouds. That shows the amount of low-level moisture. But as that storm gets closer, I think we'll be able to maybe see a few more ingredients as it kind of sucks up the moisture from as the storm moves in.
Yep, that circulation for the River Valley, Dan, is right over the town of Mansfield right now. You can see that on Mega Doppler. It's still there. They're still noting about it, and they included that in their latest update. So,
I mean, I was looking at the QLCS tornado parameters, and it's definitely there. You got the strong 0 to 3 kilometer bulk shear. It's over 40 knots, I think I was seeing. So we got a lot of energy. That's no doubt about that. So there could be a little bit of a circulation right now over Mansfield, probably seeing some ragged lowerings and some rotation within that cell. So something to watch. If you, by the way, have pictures, which we're going to show here very, very shortly, I want to show you this. You can scan this QR code, submit your photos to us. All you got to do is take your phone, QR codes. You got knows how to do that. And then what it's going to do is going to take you to our photo submission page, photos, videos. You can send both of those to us. We would love to see them and pass that along. And I think if we've got on our producer computer, we've got some of those photos from earlier today. And not only that, but from the storm that went through the Lincoln and Prairie Grove area. So whenever we get those loaded, we can kind of show you what's going on. Looks like a circulation, Davion, might be weakening just slightly.
Yeah, it
which
certainly
is
looks that
good
way.
News.
I'll show you the hail with this storm as well, because it certainly has calmed down just a little bit. But obviously, these storms could still cycle. 2 noticeable hail cores, the one right where the circulation is, but the other one down to the south as well. Keeping an eye on that.
Now, we did have a new tornado watch that just got issued, and this is going to be for the River Valley. But there's a look at some of the hail core and the hailstone. So that's 2 inches. That was the east side of Fayetteville, Goshen off of Wyman Road. And I'm not sure if this was from earlier or if this is from right now. There's so many storms. I am going to say that's from earlier because I think that's exactly where that hail core was located from around 11:30 in the morning. But yeah, you can see that is that's definitely the area that was hit earlier this morning. But that's 2-inch hail. That's a hen egg right there. Perfect indication of that. Let's go back to, if we can, there's the tornado watch that does include Boone, Newton, Johnson, Logan, and Scott counties, and not Northwest Arkansas, because those are under severe thunderstorm watches. That watch, by the way, is about to expire here pretty soon. We'll take a look. I think it's till 1 a.m. officially for this tornado watch that covers a good portion of the area. There you get to see till 1 o'clock in the morning for Logan as well as Scott County as additional storms continue to ramp up. And in fact, look at what we've got. Tornado warning in McCurtain County. That's a little bit south of our weather coverage area, but it shows you the environment is conducive, at least to rotation. Yes, Davion.
I was just going to say they've noted that the circulation in the St. Paul area, just like we did, has slightly weakened.
Okay.
So I'm continuing to watch that for the next few velocity scans.
Okay, we appreciate that. Let's go back and we'll take a look here. Again, on the radar, you see not a whole lot of activity in Benton County, but we got this one cell in Madison County. So here's the deal here. I'd love to drop off our coverage, but we are in the middle of our newscast, and we do have these storms that are cycling and starting to ramp up a little bit, and I don't want to drop off of them too soon, because if I do that, they might put down a tornado before you know it, and I don't want to have that happen in the middle of our coverage. So we're watching these closely. We'll wait and see until everything kind of weakens a little bit more, and then we'll go to our live stream. But we are approaching our 6 o'clock newscast on KNWA, and I will tell you, as of now, the warnings are starting to lower just a little bit. So we do have that tornado possible that's in southern sections of Sebastian County, moving into northern Scott County. This storm's moving into our eastern weather coverage area, but the I-49 corridor is starting to see a lot less storm activity, and that's going to be the end of this storm as it moves through. So thankfully, it looks like we might have dodged a bullet in the Washington County area. Hopefully that continues across the rest of our weather coverage area. That circulation, though, as we go back here, we're going to take you through some of the warnings and the times that are going on right now. So we'll take a look at this severe thunderstorm warning that is considerable, and we'll take a look here as we zoom in. So severe thunderstorm warning considerable with 70 miles per hour winds and golf ball size hail. You're taking golf balls and you're throwing them at you at 70 miles per hour. That's going to do some damage and also cause some power outages. 60 miles per hour for the severe thunderstorm warning in Johnson, Newton County in our weather coverage area. That includes Limestone, Ozone. That goes until 6:30. Then we have no thunderstorms in the River Valley of Fort Smith and Van Buren. Hopefully that remains the case. We got the severe thunderstorm warning until 6 o'clock. That includes Sebastian and Franklin County. Then we got Boonville that's under a severe thunderstorm warning. Paris and Waldron, that's for Logan and Scott County. That goes until 6:15. And then right very close to the West Hartford, Mansfield area, we've got this severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 6 o'clock, another 8 minutes with a tornado possible tag. And so that kind of takes you through all of the warnings. And one more, Davion, 6:15, Waldron included in that, and that goes until 6:15 with quarter size hail. Well, a little less than quarter size and 60 miles per hour winds.
Yep. I'm going to bring your attention to the circulation that we were watching that was once over St. Paul. Now it has moved over towards Pettigrew. It did weaken for a few scans, but now it looks like it's starting to try to ramp back up once again.
Kind of go back up. This could be the second cycle, and the third cycle typically is when problems can happen, when the storm might put down something, especially as we get closer to nighttime. Yeah, you can definitely see it right there. It's not quite as intense if we go back in time. And go all the way. You can see even the radar is like, whoa, this is a strong circulation right there. And then as we go along, you can see it's kind of weakening, but it's still there south of Pettigrew, just like you mentioned. So the angles are favorable. Is it ingesting warm inflow? That's the question. If we go to and look at the reflectivity, that's a large core. And so there may be an embedded circulation within a rain-wrapped area, but that is going to be definitely rain wrapped if anything does develop. Northwest of Cass, there's another hail core, Franklin County, and that's moving east-southeast. So here we are with multiple thunderstorm warnings that continue across the area. Let's do a track on that latest storm, Aleshli, most dangerous portion of the storm. That's going to be in northern Johnson County.
Yes, I do actually have a storm track right here, just kind of plotting it the best I can because a lot of this is shrouded in rain. So that's what adds to the concern across the region.
That'll be on Weather 2.
Yes, so I have it pulled up on Weather 2, but it's just a little bit farther south. And reason being is because that's where you have the majority of thunderstorm warning. But if we move it slightly a little bit up north, you do definitely want to consider, while this is a more rural area, it could be harder to see these storms since they're shrouded in rain. With that being said, Friley, I assume that's how you say it, by 5:59 p.m., Ozark by 6:04, or Oark, actually, not Ozark, so excuse me there, Arbaugh by 6:08, and then Ozone by 6:14, Limestone by 6:22, Fort Douglas by 6:25, and Chancellor by 6:31. And wanting to keep in mind, of course, is going through the mountains, but that does not prevent any tornadoes from forming if that comes to that case. And the storm has been moving at about 50 miles per hour last time I checked, so definitely wanting to keep that in mind. Could still see some ping pong ball-sized hail, as well as 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts in some of the heavier portions of this storm.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring your attention to it's 5:55, and I think we will have a little bit of a newscast because I don't see any circulations that are prompting tornadic potential. I don't see any super large hail cores that are happening right now. Of course, if that changes, we'll let you know. But just be ready back in the control room that we probably will have a 6 o'clock newscast to kind of talk about top stories, talk about the hail that came down earlier today as we continue to monitor those storms. I do want to go through some of the comments here on our Facebook Live, and someone asked, "Oh, the storm hit Lincoln, get a late warning." I think that warning was out definitely in time. It may have been that you only got the considerable warning when it developed, so that's a possibility as they upgraded the warning. But definitely that's why it's good to have awareness of any type of warnings that pop up, because those can always intensify and get a little stronger. No, we are not going to see another round at 7 p.m. That was initially thought. We had the time window. The window has closed, though, in Washington and Benton County as the storms have moved out. So we just wanted to let you know about that. Kent Rogers and Cave Springs is done for the night. Huntsville is north of the strongest storms, and that storm will not be tracking across the Huntsville area. And we work our way south. And Springdale, good for the rest of the night? Yes. So do want to kind of update here as we go through, and we'll take a look at this cell as we're on max 2. But here's a look at, obviously, Carroll County, Benton County, Washington County. Yes, some rain and thunderstorms in southern Washington County, but this is the most dangerous storm as of now. It's considerable, but then it was even dropped to a base severe thunderstorm warning. And we currently have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings in the River Valley. We got a new warning that just popped up, but that's going to be for, it looks like, as we get the latest information. And that's going to be for that storm, same thing in Johnson County. So
New
that
considerable
is,
severe thunderstorm
just
warning.
issued here, 5:43, 5:42. I don't see a new update on that. That's kind of a little misleading. Goes until 6 o'clock with the tornado possible tag, and then you got till 6:30. So there it is, just under golf ball size hail at 1.5 inches and 60 miles per hour wind. So that's what we're seeing. And like we mentioned, I think we will have a 6 o'clock newscast. We're on Fox 24 News at 5:30 right now. But these storms continue to move through parts of the area, but a lot of the area is starting to see a clearing of storms. So we may have dodged another bullet in terms of tornadic activity, but the storms aren't done yet. We'll continue to track them. We'll let you know about it. So Control, you let me know if you want me to continue all the way into the start of our 6 o'clock newscast, or if you want us to pitch to break. You just let us know what we need to do. So, all right, we're going to keep our stream up, and we'll keep talking about these storms, but we're going to go to our 6 o'clock newscast, and we'll do that after this short commercial break. So keep it here with your Weather Authority for the latest. Yeah, someone muted the audio, so I don't know why.
Still showing no audio level.
No, we're good now.
Okay,
We're good now.
that's
Okay,
weird.
stand by. Newscast is starting.
Proudly covering the Northwest Arkansas community. This is KNWA News at 6.
All right, it's not the video we were hoping to show you right here, but we had some video lined up that was going to be a pretty loud, intense hail that came down this morning in the Elm Springs area. So here it is. Let's listen in.
Golly.
I think that says it all right there. Golly, I think his name was Jonathan there at Elm Springs. This was that round of hail that came in this morning through Washington County. Jonathan Hamby of Elm Springs capturing this. He stayed under the roof at least. How large the hail was, you'll see it right here. I'd say that's pushing
Little big
baseball-size hail
yeah.
easily. That was the case for many in an area stretching from Siloam Springs to Elm Springs, perhaps even into the Lowell area. Then we had more hail reported east of Fayetteville, stretching all the way out to the Huntsville area. So it has been a busy day, a reckless day if you're Mother Nature. And that's where we begin tonight. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock as we continue covering the severe weather. I'm Doug Warner.
And I'm Allie Lynch, and we just got a taste of what we saw earlier today. But Dan, you're here to tell us we're not in the clear just yet.
Yeah, I'll repeat his sentiments. Golly, this weather pattern is nuts, and it needs to stop. But good news is that we're starting to see a clearing of the storm activity, but we've got it here on Max 2. And you'll notice we got one severe thunderstorm warning that's moved into southern Newton County and northern Johnson County. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, goes until 6:30 tonight, and it's got 60 miles per hour winds as well as hail up to 1.25 inches in diameter. Now, if we work our way south on this cell, that's going to be working its way south, and you can do this on Max 2, Leslie. As we work our way south, we got additional storms that have popped up in the river valley, and these are going to continue to be severe warned as well. But the tornado possible tag has expired, and that's why we stopped our continuous severe weather coverage to begin our newscast. So now the question is what happens the rest of the night? Thankfully, after these storms move out, we're not expecting another round. The front's moving through. That's going to be the end of the severe weather threat. And we actually have beautiful weather this upcoming weekend. We'll show you that in the full weather forecast that I am going to create right now. And we'll have that close to in about 10 minutes. Back to you guys.
All right, Dan, thank you so much. Well, tonight, local aviators are expressing concerns about a residential development.
This is going on. Usually it's the other way around. People living in homes worried about the airplanes, right? Well, this is happening in Siloam Springs, where the municipal airport's federal grant money could be put in jeopardy over this proposed plan. KNWA's Gabriella Phelan explains.
For nearly 10 years, Jonathan Barnett has kept his planes here at the Siloam Springs Airport.
The future of aviation is very important, and you've got to preserve what you've got. You've got to protect it, and that's, again, what we're trying to do.
Barnett's most pressing concern, though, is not his next flight out. It's a proposed residential development located just over 1,000 feet past the runway.
The aviation community in Siloam Springs, and really all of Northwest Arkansas, is fighting the subdivision that's trying to go into the north of our runway.
The Planning and Zoning Commission voted to deny the development at a previous meeting. Now it's up for an appeal with the board of directors.
80% of all aviation accidents happen on takeoff and landing. And you see every week in the news where a plane has hit a house trying to come in for landing or taking off. And a lot of times loss of lives take place and fires, and it's just totally incompatible.
Barnett says he's also concerned for the federal funding that could be lost if the development is approved.
I think the city would obviously have made a lot of investments out here as well, and probably would continue to do that in the future, but there's not going to be a lot of outside investment and FAA investment in the future if this airport becomes landlocked, and housing is a safety concern. Very unlikely we're going to get any grant assurance money in the future from the FAA.
The final decision will be made next week.
We're obviously lobbying the city to try to stop future development of a housing area at the end of the runway. So that's kind of where we're at, and we're not where we need to be yet, but we want to fight the good fight.
And that was Gabriella Phelan reporting for us tonight. A meeting with the Siloam Springs Board of Directors will take place next Tuesday at 6:30.
Well, tonight, as we've reported, thousands facing misdemeanor offenses in Benton County are taking advantage of the system. Many aren't even showing up for court dates, but namely because they know they won't face jail time. The Benton County Sheriff says it's because of jail overcrowding. KNWA's Casey Smith investigates a possible solution to that problem.
We have 669 beds today, but most of the time we have 700 plus. We've even hit 800 a couple of times, which means we have individuals sleeping on the floor.
And that's just the number of felons housed at the Benton County Jail.
So we got to the point, basically, we're not holding any misdemeanor offenders and have not for quite some time.
Benton County Sheriff Sean Holloway says because of that, people with misdemeanor charges rarely face jail time for their crimes.
I know of the Rogers District Court, talking to the judge there, he has several thousands of failure to appears a year, like over 10,000 a year.
But the Benton County Quorum Court recently put forth an initial $1 million for architecture and engineering of a new holding facility at the jail specifically for misdemeanor offenders.
We just don't want to throw everybody in jail, but there's got to be a consequence for your actions, and that ultimate threat, if I don't do what the judge tells me, or if I don't pay my fine, or if I don't come to court, I'm going to jail.
Sheriff Holloway tells me this new facility will provide a space for drugs, alcohol, and mental health programs designed to cut down on recidivism.
We don't have very many spaces today for the amount of programming of the people who are wanting to help. We can only get X amount of people through these programs a day. This will expand that and almost double what we're able to do today.
It's a facility Sheriff Holloway believes will keep Northwest Arkansas safe for years to come.
We'll see the rewards of this down the road in our community by having this online.
That's Casey Smith reporting. Sheriff Holloway expects the addition to cost upwards of $20 million and hopes it's operational by early 2028. Sheriff believes it will also keep women prisoners safer during severe weather. If you want to find out how, we've got that full explanation when you find this story on our website.
The University of Arkansas Fort Smith kicked off one of their biggest fundraising events of the year today in their annual Day of Giving. 26 different programs are hoping to raise money to continue to give students the best on-campus experience the university has to offer. KNWA's Dylan Nooner has more on the fundraising efforts.
We're all coming together as a community and raising funds for our students, our staff, and faculty.
That's the goal on the University of Arkansas Fort Smith campus today through tomorrow.
The Day of Giving is a time where right now we have 26 projects crowdfunding for a specific goal that they're trying to accomplish, where it may be scholarships, it may be a student experience. And today is the day where everyone's reaching out, sharing on social media, getting the word out, and trying to donate to their specific project.
Ending at 4:08 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, the event lasts exactly 1,928 minutes in honor of the university's founding year.
This is the time where everyone is reaching out to friends and families to donate to their specific project.
The UAFS director for Day of Giving, Cherise Tunico, says this year the 26 programs range from scholarships to student organizations and even study abroad opportunities. The goal, to raise $62,000.
We do have projects and we do that are raising money for a scholarship, and we've had projects in the past who were able to go to a specific festival, were able to study abroad because of Day of Giving fundraising in the past.
One of those projects is Cub Camp, a student-led freshman orientation program. Junior Haley Osborne helps coordinate the orientation. She says giving freshmen this opportunity can help shape their entire college experience.
We usually have a $75 registration fee, and so being able to give some incoming freshmen that may not be able to afford that $75 fee, the experience that we've all been so lucky to have, is really important to me.
Osborne added how amazing it is to see the community donate to each cause year in and year out.
It's showing that they care about the students, care about student life on campus, and just being able to expand their experience and help them get involved, meet new people, and hopefully be an advocate for an organization that Day of Giving promotes one day as well.
And that was Dylan Nooner reporting for us. You can find a link over on our website to donate to the program of your choosing and help them hit their goal of $65,000.
All right, let's talk with our Pig Trail Nation team. Yesterday, we were talking about the Hogs tennis. Today, why gymnastics coach is stepping down.
Beautiful weekend that's ahead. It's all coming up right after the break.
You're watching KNWA News at 6 with Doug.
Don't pay attention to the show because it's going to be let's just say something that I had to make in the middle of everything. And yeah, this weather pattern, talk about a pain in the rumpsker. Here's a look at I got to go back in time now because actually I'll be all right. There's a look at the cell. We're going to show this WeatherBug Network camera. So no more storms in Springdale, no more storms in Fayetteville, no more storms. Now there is some stuff coming towards Mountainburg, and there's another severe thunderstorm warning. And Davion's watching rotations that aren't really strengthening too much. It's a little bit one in southwest Newton County. So far, though, been pretty tame in terms of circulations. For the 7? Yeah. Oh, for now? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, I had so much going on. I'll take the 5 minutes for sure. Oh, I got it. We got it. I think. Let's see. I think it'll be a okay show. I got to delete that, and I got to delete that. Okay. So stand by. Here we go. Davion, you're just going to give us a tour, right?
Yep. I'll go this one first and then
so live streams, while newscasts, it's like not 6-7, it's juggling balls everywhere.
Feels like we did this forever ago.
I know. All right. So stand by. We're about to start the newscast here. And we're giving the weather forecast. Fort Smith is pretty quiet. Missed the storms completely. They split the uprights, which is exactly why it's tough to say where storms are going to be. Exactly.
If we would have thought St. Paul would have been the strongest rotation so far.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, maybe back in April 21st, 1996.
Now, from the state's largest sports team, this is your Pig Trail Nation report.
Sports is coming up next. Did you hear about the gymnastics coach leaving? That's crazy. Yeah. She's stepping down. Chris Brooks. Yeah. More weeks like this, I'll be considering it myself. All right. Let's give you a quick radar tour as we're doing this. So here's what we've got. Just weak rotations here and there, not really showing up, not super strong. Looks like it's all outflow dominant, honestly. You can see the outflow boundary dropping south.
You see the severe thunderstorm for Scott County just got canceled. The severe thunderstorm for Scott County.
Scott County just got canceled. In this case, Avery, yes.
Earlier it was bad.
Yeah, clearing before storms, bad. Clearing after storms, good. Let's see what's happening for Mount Sequoia. Oh, yeah. That looks menacing, but there is no storms. Well, more cells popping up, but they're not super strong. Remember, our atmosphere is overworked and overturned.
It's
In a good way this time.
Yeah, well, cooked, or would you say cooled off, frozen?
Yeah.
Thawed out. Yeah. Our atmosphere thawed out. What's going on with that cell by Yale? Nope. Nope, not playing. Go west.
Yeah, the probable starter for the Beavers tonight was a kid that I coached when he was 11. Did you not? And somehow he still made it to college baseball, and I didn't screw that up.
Sounds like you're a pretty good coach.
Did you teach him his fastball?
Negative.
You should say you did.
He lefty, and he does well on his own. I did serve him up his first home run he ever hit, and that was in an all-star practice.
There you go.
I remember to this day him telling me that's the first home run I've ever hit.
Your claim to fame.
Just a small part of a bigger story.
Now he's a PO and never swings the bat. He just pitches. So, all right, Evan, thanks so much. We'll check back in with Dan Scoff when we come back. Hang tight.
The Pig Trail Nation is sponsored by Crane Automotive Team.
I don't know what's happening. You shouldn't have to mute the microphone, Denton. We have it where you don't need to mute it anymore because it should mute on the mic input when it's just through PCR. It's going to be essentially through our microphone. So you shouldn't have to mute anymore when we're doing that. Well, I don't know why it's echoing. It shouldn't echo. No, I did not.
Does it echo on PCR?
Yeah, he's saying the big echo. Okay, so I come to the desk, chat, done. Okay, got it. Yep, that's good. One severe thunderstorm warning left, right? Or two? Oh, yeah.
Look at the mic inputs.
Yeah, we'll check it out. I think it's right, but I don't know. We didn't have a problem before. It sounded good. It may be. Yeah, I don't see it on there, but we'll have to look and see if it echoes. Maybe it's.
Maybe try.
I'll try that. Let's see if we mute you. All right, so stand by. Waldron got smacked again. Go back south. Yeah, Waldron's getting it, and we don't have our camera either. Okay, here we go. I present, should I say, a trash forecast. This is going to be fun. Stand by. And Max 2 is what we're going with. Max 2.
Your Weather Authority forecast with Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff. Certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
Okay, let's begin with Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler. Good news is those storms that were earlier pretty intense are starting to weaken. We've got one severe thunderstorm warning that's left. This is the same storm that had a little bit of rotation over St. Paul. It has since weakened. We look at these hail cores north of Clarksville. We're talking quarter-size hail, but not anything larger than that. And honestly, this severe thunderstorm warning is probably going to expire as well as it moves to the east-southeast. Now, we work our way into the River Valley, looking back at reflectivity. This storm that's moving over Waldron, providing some heavy rain, some small hail, but that also has lost its severe thunderstorm warning. However, earlier today, that was not the case, as we had multiple hail tracks moving through northwest Arkansas. These are the 1-hour hail tracks. As we loop this, you can see 5 individual storms of significance, and then it continued in northern Delaware County. Let's start off with the first hail track that went through the east side of Siloam Springs, also Cave Springs, Elm Springs. All the springs got, let's just say, sprung up with hail, and you'll see that hail core continuing across the region. Now, we actually had a view of this storm from multiple cameras, and boy, was it very photogenic. Here's a look at the storm as the hail core, and we're time-lapsing this as you'll see this wall cloud moving from left to east. Now, this is west to east, essentially. This is left to right. You can see the inflow tail as well. Very menacing looking cloud. However, there was no low-level rotation with this. Very weak if it was, but that's what provided the very large hail from that storm. And we got several photos. Scan that QR code, by the way. You can see it at the top right of your screen. Here's some of the photos that we got. Thanks to you guys for submitting it so we could show them on the news. There's Elm Springs. That probably is one of the bigger hailstones of the day. 3 inches reported in the Elm Springs area, causing substantial damage. And you heard the guy earlier at the beginning of the newscast, golly, when he was talking about the hail coming down. There you go. That's a golly hailstone right there. Chris Smith, Elm Springs and City Hall, more damage that occurred in that region. And Ron got quarter size in the middle, and those are way bigger than quarters, almost dollar bill size. Not quite, but still some very sizable hail. And then that hail core continued to develop east, northeast, went into War Eagle Mill, but weekend, a new storm developed. That went through the Huntsville area and Kingston, and that provided a hail core into Newton County as well. So, yeah, it's been a pretty active one. Now, as you'll see on live Doppler radar, the storms are starting to wind down. Look at what's happening to our south. Tornado warnings cranking up. That's where it's a little warmer, a little more humid. And not only that, you got the warm front that's way north. So tornado watch does officially go until 1 o'clock. I think central Arkansas is going to be a focus that we'll have to watch. Here's a high-resolution satellite imagery. Notice no additional storms except maybe a little bit of convective clouds, but no storms in terms of severity. Notice how the dew points are a lot lower over northwest Arkansas, and they're a lot higher farther south. So if we show you the temperatures, we're in the mid to upper 60s to lower 70s. Here's the future track showing the storms pushing out. The instability moves out. The weather will be much quieter tomorrow. Look at this. Temperatures in the upper 60s, noticeably cooler, but don't you love to see no percentages, at least I do, on the 7-day, or not on the 7-day, but on the 2-day forecast timeline. Thursday, little slight chance of rain that pops up. River Valley, same story, little slight chance of rain. And the reason for that, boy, it's been so active, but we're finally seeing a winding down of this, oh no, it's southwest flow. Remember we were talking about that a couple of weeks ago? Here's that southwest flow bringing multiple rounds of storms. But as you'll see, that moisture, instability all starting to move out. We'll get a completely different weather pattern as this low pressure system traverses across the central United States. That brings us a little bit of rain, but we will not have the ingredients for severe weather potential. So here's a look at our future track model. Quiet on Wednesday, maybe a light rain shower here and there. Thursday, maybe a little bit of a light shower. Temperatures noticeably cooler. Now on Friday, look at this, Friday evening, the rain stays down in the River Valley, not as much in northwest Arkansas. If you're having a wedding party or something like that, it's looking A-okay on Friday. Wouldn't know who would be doing that. But here's a look at the 7-day forecast. Temperatures tomorrow in the upper 60s on Wednesday, Thursday in the upper 60s, cloudy and cooler. Over the weekend, we're looking at mid to upper 60s to lower 70s, and a beautiful weekend in store, really. And the rain chances, yes, it's PM. It might be providing a little bit of light rain. I think it's in the early PM hours. So I think it's going to be moving out during the evening, at least as of now, but things can change and we'll continue to watch.
Let me clarify. Wedding shower, not for myself. Wedding party, not for myself.
Wedding shower
for others.
Party, yes.
Host with the most,
yes.
right here.
One day.
You want to have that in nice weather. It'll be a little cool, no doubt about that.
No worries. I'd rather take cool than rain.
Than raining and hailing
cool,
like today.
Yeah.
Somebody messaged me today and said absolute storm fatigue.
That is what I'm feeling. Yes.
For you guys as well as you guys, because they're just
team.
it wears you down.
I know, it does.
Day after day.
Hopefully we're getting out of it. We'll see you at 10.
Two big guests, two big nights on News Nation. Tonight, Geraldo.
Yeah, it is.
That was a solid show, in my opinion.
It wasn't too shabby.
Yeah, for the amount of time you had.
Oh. It's when you're in PCR, it's your DJI mics, I think. But we muted the mics.
We muted the mics, so they shouldn't.
Yeah, they shouldn't be going. Unless we didn't mute the mics on PCR full weather producer. It's a possibility. Let me look at it real quick. It's going to go to black. Hold on. Wonder why there's an echo. I don't know. Yes.
How much time you want to wait?
No, I think we can go 4:30.
4:30?
Yeah, because I don't think there's going to be as many storms, so I won't have to do as much. But oh, my goodness, I was really concerned about that Washington County storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really concerned about that, but it just didn't do it. I think those rounds of storms in the morning, I've already had 2 Baja blasts, as Caitlin. You know what? I might have to run and do that.
New severe thunderstorm warning.
Right to a quarter as I said that.
This is interesting. Crack open my third and also does not echo on live TV, the echo. So that's good. Yeah. What's up?
I was saying, that's not.
I was like, wow, I had a lot of hail.
Yeah. They're continuing this issuing a new severe thunderstorm warning for this portion of it. So, yeah, issuing a new severe thunderstorm warning to replace the expiring Johnson County.
Well, get it out of here.
I don't like this. This stuff is pretty broad.
Yeah.
The same circulation that.
Yeah, sometimes those rotations, man, they don't weaken.
You can see
So-
the back end of the system from Waldron,
Oh.
or not Waldron. I
Whoa.
wish from Dripping Springs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not from Waldron. I wish.
Yeah. That is not impressive convection.
No.
Let me ask you this. Did you, Brendan, I don't know how you sent it. Wow, look at how clear it is, huh?
Right.
Super clear. Davion, uh-oh. I don't either. It's northern Johnson County. Here's what we're looking at. Yep.
Which county is that in?
That's northeastern Johnson County, but it's going to clip southern Newton County.
Yeah.
It's that same circulation that you say broadened out and died off.
I mean, they said at 6:27 they were only going to issue new severe thunderstorm warnings.
No, I know, but this really strengthened over the last few minutes.
Yeah.
Did Brendan Wilson get photos in on? He said he sent it through the Weather Authority app.
I'll have to see because there's a lot of photos.
Got a lot of photos. Is there any way, sir? Yeah, you could just hit search, can't you, at the top?
Name?
Just look up Wilson.
Oh, yeah. There's photos here.
Okay. Yeah. Let's show that. Add that one. I don't know if you added it or
I
not.
don't know if I have either. Again, there's just so many.
There's so many. Hey, I'm loving it. We got big time hail pictures.
Get a load. Gotta give it a sec.
Did it load? Oh, no, not yet. There's Brendan.
Thought he did, but trying to see.
I just brought it up. Oh, I don't have it up yet, though.
Oh, yeah, no.
Good.
Okay. There it is. It's up.
All righty. Bringing it up right now. Hold on. Fort Smith was lucky. Prayers were answered. Yeah. Okay, check this out. This is Brendan Wilson's photos, or photo from Marble. Sent it on the Weather Authority app. Did you get the hail photos I sent in from Marble? There you go. So that's as easy as it is for us to put it on air, which is really nice. Before we used to have to render it, make it. Is that new?
No, this is old. I was gonna ask the question.
Yeah. What's the question, man? Let's
don't
figure it
know
out. We got this.
So I saw this little tiny intro.
Uh-huh.
Never mind, that answered my question.
Well, keep going.
It was this scan that I was like, huh. And then there's that one. I was like, yeah,
Yeah, that looked pretty good there. And then it just kind of collapsed because it's like trying to be a QLCS, but it's a supercell.
identity crisis.
Yeah. Someone's asking about the Clarksville storm. Go to it. Yeah. Just a cluster of storms. Just a cluster of scrap.
This guy is really dying to this one. A little bit of clarity with everything that's down. Waldron cell, losing steam.
Yeah, that's not even severe anymore. Nothing's severe. We got one severe thunderstorm warning, and how long is that going? 42 minutes. Oh, man. Yeah, I knew they were from earlier. They had to be. Thank you for that, though. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's look at why there was so much storm fatigue, because this will really tell you the story here. We're going to go back. Ready for this? We're going to go back 192 hours. As far back as we can go. Davion, you want to do the 7? You sure? You can build the show? Nice. All right. Here's a look at the satellite radar, and you will see. Wednesday, we're starting to see the moisture increase. This is from last week, by the way. And here is the first round of storms that came through Thursday night into Friday morning. Might not seem too bad, right? But they busted our Lincoln camera.
Yeah. Goodbye, Lincoln.
Working south. That's the line that came through. That pushed the front to the south. Guess what happened the next night? Storms popped up. Look at how it didn't take very long. They were already popping up about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
This won't show you warnings because they purge out of the system. Then watch what happens on Saturday. Another system starts moving in. All heck broke loose this day, man, but still not much tornadic activity. Yes, we did have one tornado warning briefly for that cell in LaFleur County, but it didn't really have it.
Nope.
And then all those storms, all that severe weather, that ended. Sunday was pretty nice until Sunday night. We had more storms popping up, but this time those storms were just to the north of us. Look at that, though. Joplin, considerable, which I don't know if I necessarily buy. There might have been some erroneous reports there. Then, as we work our way westward on Monday, yesterday, storms blowing up again, this time kind of over us. So that's 4 or 5 days right now. And then why not throw a little bit more? Why not some rounds of storms in the morning? And there you go. That's it. Yeah, I could fall asleep standing up. I'm so tired. I just about did. Yeah, so there you go. We definitely needed to be on the air, though. Those are some dangerous storms, some large hail. That was during our newscast. So I'm reading something. All right. So I think that's about it. Storms are weakening and dying out, and then we're just going to end this live stream here. That's going to be the last one for a while. I'm not doing any more live streams for a while until the next serious storm system that comes in. So, what was most surprising to you over the last 5 days? Let's talk weather team.
Most surprising?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I think. Oh, I got it easily. The most surprising thing to me was Saturday when we were all in here and all. You know what broke loose?
All hail broke loose.
It was the storm.
You can say that, right?
Yeah.
Hail.
It was the storm that
Was it play on words?
Yeah.
All hail broke
did
loose.
broke-
Yeah,
broke-
they did. Yeah.
There you go.
The storm that surprised me the most was the
One hail of the day.
one that formed just outside of LaFleur County. So I'm in here, I'm doing my work, and I'm trying to make sure I have 7 days just to show stuff done because
Yeah.
I have a show later on Saturday.
Yeah.
I couldn't finish because I had visible satellite up and we were watching the cumulus get agitated. 12 minutes later, it was a textbook supercell.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Whoa. And then we're doing coverage. Yep. That's why when people don't realize why we have to come in so early.
Yeah.
You have to come in early because you're covering all that stuff and you got to get it done before anything happens.
Yeah, that was just watching the evolution of that updraft just blow up. It went from 2 little raindrops to if you Google what does a supercell look like on radar, that's
Explosive.
That's the image
Yeah.
you're going to see.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it didn't put down anything, at least not until it got far out of our coverage area.
Yeah.
East, southeast. I think that supercell did eventually put down one. I forgot the county name, but it was far south of us by then, thankfully. But yeah, that was surprising. Just
How fast that blew up. How about you, Ashley?
I guess it's like, even if you're at home, when you're on standby, you're not really off, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Because you spend your entire day off paying attention to the radars. I mean, we take this up as a hobby. So this was something that was already in our rotation, but you can't really have a day off and relax because you have that in the back of your
New
mindset.
tornado warning just got issued.
Oh.
It's for that Scott County area. Yep.
You don't really have any time off, like I've
Is
mentioned.
that on the ground? It's a PTDS. Stand by. We're going on with this storm.
Let me let them know.
There's my best surprise right there. Tornado warning in Scott County.
We're going live. There's a tornado warning. Where's everyone? We're going live.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. 2 circulations.
Warning. Yeah.
Yep. All right, here we go. Back to serious mode.
West of Waldron.
Stand
We
by.
gotta go live now.
Tornado warning issue for Scott County. Yep.
Yep.
We're ready. And it just doesn't stop. We got a new tornado warning that's in Scott County now that's been issued. Now, this is not going to last super long, but it's in the eastern part of our weather coverage area and extreme southern
New tornado
sections
warning.
of our weather coverage area. Let's get to it. Got to talk about this storm. No other storms in the northwest Arkansas area or even in the River Valley are of concern, but this storm right here, as you'll see, tornado warning goes until 7:30. We're at 6:39, 6:40 now. And storm that has quite a bit of a circulation as this cell has moved through the Waldron area, now moving towards Gravely and northeast of Parks, and Blue Ball going to be impacted as well in western Yell County. Now, on Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler, we were watching this storm, and this is why exactly we continue to stream in case
New
the storm
tornado
does this.
warning.
and begins to ramp up. So here's a look at the tornado warning. We'll go to max 1 if we can, and we'll take a look at the circulation now that's showing up. And looked like at one point maybe a potential circulation that was reaching the ground, but as of now, there is that rotation that's showing up, a new area of rotation too, just to the west of Harvey. And hopefully this doesn't last long, but the National Weather Service out of Little Rock issuing this tornado warning for eastern Scott County. The farther south you go, the greater the tornado potential. That's why we're watching these storms closely. So let's zoom out again, and we'll take a look at this cell. And there's that tornado warning that's moving into Yell County. So just a few more minutes before it moves out of our extreme eastern sections of Scott County, which is a very far south edge of our weather coverage area. It's always on the fringes, it seems like, doesn't it? Either extreme north or extreme south. But that's what we're looking at with this cell. Has a tornado vortex signature. Let's go ahead on max 2. Not yet. We'll bring it up here in just a bit. But we'll go and put a storm track on this as that storm is moving eastward from Scott County. So there's a look at Waltreek. That's just west of Danville. So that's in western Yell County. And that area of rotation, we got 2 of them that are showing up, southwest and west of Harvey. That has a little more of a supercellular structure to it, and the circulation north of Harvey. So we're watching those 2 areas. There it is, moving very close to Blue Ball. That is, by the way, if we zoom in here across the area, we're going to zoom in. We're going to show you the highways, some of the places. Union Hill, and this is, by the way, State Highway. And Davion, you can tell me what that is there.
Yep, State Highway, the 3200 block, and it's also the 5500 block of Cheyenne Road. It'll be moving up, like you said, right towards Blue Ball here in a few minutes.
And this is an area where we're tracking storms on Saturday, too.
It is.
It had a circulation
very familiar
as well.
area. Yep.
Eastern Scott County. Now, Waldron, we've got our WeatherBug Network camera in the Waldron area. We can look east and get a good look at this.
Waldron is down, but I do have Boonville up to kind
Okay.
of show you the backside of the storm, and you can see it is massive. So
Is
I have
it?
it pulled up on Weather 3 if you guys want to go ahead, just at least from Boonville.
Oh, wow.
But
Oh,
Waldron,
yeah.
we don't have our Waldron camera, unfortunately.
That's right. I remember that. You even got a rainbow in the foreground right there. But yeah, that's a strong, explosive updraft, as you can see, that prompted that tornado warning potential. So I will say, I think the circulation is ramped up quickly, but then it also decreased pretty fast. And let's go ahead and we'll look at the latest. Is that the latest image?
Yeah, this is the latest.
Oh,
Image.
yeah,
Starting to broaden out.
It's starting to broaden out quite a bit. So.
And I will say that from Little Rock, they said that don't expect it to be a super strong tornado, but it did look threatening enough to warrant a warning here.
I wouldn't be surprised if this warning drops off before 7 o'clock, even though it goes for a few more minutes. I'm seriously looking at that circulation. That's definitely started to weaken quite a bit. Still strong enough to prompt tornado warning potential. So let's do a track on this. Leshley's doing that on Max 2. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at that as we've got the latest track. So you're adjusting it. You can see Waltreek 659, Shark 708, Danville at 722 in western Yell County. Again, this is Scott County, Logan County. Mount Magazine would have a view of this, though. We could take that south. Here's Mount Magazine. We would be looking straight south into this cell. Now, I doubt we'll probably see anything, but maybe we'll finally get a clearing and we'll be able to see anything. Totally shrouded in clouds?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we'll take a look. I just want to see
Yep,
it anyway.
I have it pulled up.
I would say that warning's going to expire here really soon.
I'll
Let's
push
take
it
a
out
look.
towards the west, or not the west, but the south. But
Yeah, Mount Magazine can't see anything.
doesn't really matter where you
Totally
look, you can't see
shrouded
it.
in clouds and rain. Okay, going back to Mega Doppler.
Yep. The latest velocity scan still has this broadening out quite a bit. So
Yeah.
it looks like this was one of the quick spin up scenarios, but obviously keeping a close eye on it.
Happened really fast, dropped off really fast. So this warning officially goes until 7:30, but I don't think it's going to last that long, if I'm not mistaken. So again, we were just in the middle of our live stream. We're watching this cell closely, and honestly, if we continue to see a weakening of the circulation, we're going to drop off of our weather coverage, continue on the live stream. But that circulation definitely is broadening out. It's becoming a lot less tight and a lot weaker as well.
Yep.
I want to show you too. I want to look at the evolution of this track myself, just to see how much it's strength. So this is a pretty quick circulation that developed. Let's go and we'll look at eastern Scott County on Max 1 if we can. This is the rotation track. There it is showing up Waldron. There it is showing northwest of Gravely, and then it's basically gone. So this popped up really fast. Now, there are some additional cells that are tornado warned by Nashville umpire, but not seeing any of those circulation. Of course, we're not quite on the right radar. And then we do have that severe thunderstorm warning, as that is in northern Johnson County and southern Newton County. That's not going to last very long either, as that warning is about to expire. So one more radar image, and then we'll drop off of it on television coverage. We'll continue it on our live stream. Also, because it's so far in eastern Scott County, it's about to move into Little Rock's television coverage area. Okay, Davion, let us know when we get one more view of the new Mega Doppler. Yeah, I think it's done.
Yep.
So circulation has definitely weakened. Very intense storm and a beautiful shot from Boonville. But let's go ahead and we'll send you back to your regularly scheduled programming. We're going to continue it on the live stream, but I highly suspect this tornado warning will be dropped soon. So keep it here with your Weather Authority team, and we'll keep you safe. That's not lasting very long.
No.
From Fort Smith. What's up? My goodness.
Yeah, that's leaving our area.
I mean, it strengthened pretty quick, but then it dropped off really quick too. My heavens.
Yeah.
Just another punch in the gut, man. It's like, would you stop, Mother Nature? I'm going to put you into some. They don't want to die like super fast. Yeah. It'll drop off there. Like I said, if it was in western Scott County, I would stay on it, but it's so far east, and not to say that they aren't important, but the circulation's a lot weaker.
Yeah.
I mean, it ramped up quick, it dropped off quick. So well, it is getting close to that magic time, 7 o'clock.
Obviously, you're not going to get the best work on Mega Doppler unless you switch radars to Little Rock.
I don't think we can hear you because it's so quiet.
Oh, yeah, because you're so far away from us.
Yeah.
You don't have
we don't have 3 mics.
Yeah.
All right.
But Boonville, man, it looks nice.
You brought that up.
Yeah, we're just gonna view this.
With a rainbow.
That's a beautiful storm. We kind of chase vicariously through the cameras. I ain't gonna be honest with you.
If all the cameras were working.
I forgot to mention the runner sent some videos in earlier.
From
I didn't have time.
I think.
Yeah, I didn't have time to look at it.
I didn't either. I had a telemarketer, by the way, call while I was in the middle of coverage. That's who that was.
You're joking.
But it said something about like survey, and I'm like, "Oh, you doing a storm survey?" No, it's a survey. Trash survey. Yes, you are. You're gonna have an amazing birthday, Aliana. You're gonna enjoy it, and the weather's going to be beautiful. Now it will be a bit on the cool side, but not raining. Not raining, thankfully. That warning is going to drop off soon.
Mm-hmm.
What emoji is that?
What?
The confused face.
Confused spinning emoji. What did someone put? What did they put?
Oh, that's where they said,
they were like, they don't want to cancel too soon and just make sure it's gone. So
Yeah, entirely.
Oh, he's typing in chat.
Saying goodbye, tornado warning. Goodbye. No, I don't want to see anything. I'll take cool day over a soggy tornado birthday. Yeah, no kidding. Now, what's that?
It's already out of our area now.
Oh, let's go. Get out. Another Little Rock show. Where is that? Is that from Little Rock's radar?
Yeah.
Let's check it out. That's the rotating thunderstorm, isn't it? So this is, there it is. Severe thunderstorm, tornado possible? Nope. Let's look at LZK for the reflectivity. Yeah. That's got some velocity with it.
They're saying it's mostly over anything.
Yeah.
So the radar situation here is so
It's bad.
yeah, bad.
It's poor. It's very poor. So that warning doesn't include our coverage area. This other warning is moving out of our coverage area, even though Eastern Johnson County is still included. But yeah, we're going to be good. Oh, this, Amanda, you are so correct. We do need a break.
Leslie was saying when you're standing by, you're never really off. That was me yesterday. I was gonna walk you guys through my setup. So I had.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hold on. Let me just go back to weather producer. What you got,
So
Davey?
I had my TV propped up, and my TV I was cycling on YouTube through multiple storm chasers.
Yeah.
That were just in and around the area. I had my laptop on dual monitor mode, so my monitor was showing anything I wanted to pull up, like about the atmosphere, and then my laptop had another window, and it was all the slacks. There's three of them.
Man, we should have pulled you up.
Yeah. And then my iPad was the radar that I was just flipping through back and forth. And that storm last night, Dan, I didn't know you could do that on Mega Doppler. You showed me the kind of preliminary tornado.
Yeah, wasn't that cool?
So that Pleasant Grove area, which I doubt they surveyed, given what happened today.
I know. I think it might be. I think EF2. I think the tornado damage was pretty minimal. It was a lot of tree damage, not a lot of structural damage.
Yeah.
But the camera came back at Mountain View on Highway 5. But man, I was like, turn the camera, you might be able to see the tornado. It's like, wish we could. Yeah.
The storm chaser that I was watching earlier today, he was on the cell. He was on that one that was southwest of Ada. I think he was on the one that was south of that one, and he had to stop his chase or at least turn around because he had damage on his speed. Then his speed went out, so I was hoping he was all right.
Yeah, that's a good point. Guess what? Tornado warning is bye-bye. Bye-bye. She gone. Just before 7, so. Any push-ups y'all had to do this severe weather stretch? I did some push-ups. Oh. I actually forgot what it was for, but yeah, that's a lot of wind. Now that's a lot of wind. Oh, nice. We got it. All right, let's check this out. There's the Hodo. I'm going to zoom in on this because I can't see it. All right, we got the fixed scoff angle. Nice. Yeah, less than 90 degrees. Storms need to right turn in order for them to tornado, meaning move more east-southeast. Pretty cool, though. I don't know, is that fixed, though? Because I see the straight line is actually, it's pretty darn close, but that green line is actually the straight line hodograph. We also have to, Dan, we got to talk. We got to talk because I want the shear magnitude, too, of the depth of the shear vector. So we'll do that. We'll get that figured out. The Brodo with the Hodo from Turd Ferguson.
Little Rock NWS. We obviously, in retrospect, felt enough data to go to Kansas with one.
Yeah. When I saw that circulation dying, I was like, yeah, we're dropping off of this. I do agree, we weren't warning it though. I mean, it popped up pretty fast. Well, guys, it's actually a pretty good question. Why does the weather always seem to come west to east instead of east to west? So in our weather coverage area, our jet stream flows from west to east. Oh, did we change that? All right, we got that. I don't think, did you tell them you're doing the 7? You gotta let them know.
Yeah, go let them know.
Yeah. It's a good point.
That would be nice. The amount of times we could actually utilize our cameras, but half the time it's just pointing in the wrong
Big
direction.
boomers in Prairie Grove. Are you gonna be okay, Davion? I could do it if we needed. You want me to? Huh?
I still have you for 5 for me.
We could do it. I was gonna do this. We got more storms firing up, believe it or not.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
More lightning too. Yeah, no kidding. Getting beat up. Not a lot of lightning with this though.
Punching down.
Yeah, we're totally doing that. We just cancel the newscast.
What up, McDonald's?
I know. Exactly. If there's one more warning, I'm going to go outside and scream at the sky, Bill Paxton style.
Can you?
Yeah. What's up? What's going on?
Oh no, I was wondering if you could hear her. Okay, there you
go. Yeah, there's still some thunderstorms, man. You got those? Are you doing max 1 or max 2? Do you have a show ready? Kind of. First forecast ready? All right, that's all we need. We can wing everything else. Yeah, it's about to thunder again. Do you want me to load up the Mount Sequoia camera, Davion? You want me to control Mega Doppler 2 for you? Okay. What would you like me to do on Mega Doppler? There you can see the storms off to the west. All right.
We'll just walk through.
Stand by. We're going in here.
Proudly covering the Northwest Arkansas community. This is KNWA News at 7 on KXNW.
Well, multiple rounds of large hail today across Northwest Arkansas and in parts of the River Valley. High winds also brought down trees and power lines in Springdale, a little west of the Springdale Airport. That's where our coverage begins tonight. Good evening and thanks for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Allie Lynch. Meteorologist Davion Huggins joins us now. And Davion, what a long few days for you and the Weather Authority team tracking these storms for us.
Yeah, it's been a busy stretch of severe weather, that indeed. It's all started several days ago as we had multiple rounds of severe weather known as storm fatigue. Believe it or not, we also have more development that we're looking live out west on our Mount Sequoia WeatherBug network camera over here in Fayetteville, as we've already had quite the thunderstorm that has rolled through. Here's a live look at Mega Doppler showing you that new development you see right over Prairie Grove. And look at some of those hail reports that we had earlier. Hailstones upwards of 2 to 2.5 inches are plus were certainly there. There you see the larger storm that are starting to move out of our coverage area, but that storm did prompt some circulations that had some tornado possible tags, as well as considerable thunderstorm warnings. And then also down south in the River Valley, we still had a storm that recently went tornado warning, but it was a very brief tornado warning as the circulation died off, and we're now starting to see that move out of our coverage area. So here's another look at some of the radar scans. This is that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this is out of our coverage area now, but we wanted to show you the history of that storm. Certainly looks like it's going to pick up for you folks over there towards Clinton. This is a look at the lightning strikes that we're starting to see. Now, most of that is really off for that storm that's way off to the south that we just showed you, but still certainly some lightning strikes in and around Fayetteville. So if you have any outdoor plans when thunder roars go indoors, make sure you're keeping that in mind as these storms continue to pass down through. And down south in the River Valley, you guys are certainly quieting down now, especially over in LaFleur County. So we'll continue to watch the radar for the next few scans as the storms continue to traverse from west to east. But it looks like things are certainly on a downtrend, thankfully, over the next couple of hours. For now, Allie, we'll keep an eye on the radar, but now we're going to send things over back to you.
All right, Davion, thank you so much. And across northwest Arkansas, this morning severe thunderstorms left behind some damage as well. This video we want to show you was taken by one of our photographers over near Shiloh and Maple Street in Springdale, where part of a tree came down. And like we mentioned at the beginning of our show, we received many pictures and videos of golf ball sized hail or larger coming in from across the area. This video was taken by Grant Clemens in Cave Springs. And we also have many more of your pictures and videos right now on our website on KNWA.com. Well, overnight storms dropped a confirmed tornado to our east in Stone County, Arkansas. Several communities were left with damage, including Dodd Mountain, Lubber, Pleasant Grove, and Hanover. The Stone County Sheriff's Office received multiple reports of downed trees on power lines, cars, homes, and much more. And with this active weather alerts across our area tonight, make sure to download our free weather app. Our weather team will have the latest with what's happening on the radar and give you the latest alerts on what's headed your way. That app, again, is free on both the Apple App Store and Google Play. Well, new tonight, former reality star Joseph Duggar and his wife Kendra both say they're not guilty. The attorney for the Tawnytown couple entered their pleas ahead of a scheduled court appearance tomorrow. They each face 4 counts of second-degree endangering the welfare of a minor and 4 counts of second-degree false imprisonment. Since the not guilty pleas were filed in the Elm Springs District Court, the two no longer have to appear in court tomorrow. The charges were filed last month, a few days after Joseph was charged in Florida with the molestation of a person under 12 years old. The next court appearance for this couple is August 10th. Well, tonight, as we've reported, thousands faced with misdemeanor offenses in Benton County are taking advantage of the system. Many are not even showing up for court dates, mainly because they won't face jail time. The Benton County Sheriff says it's because of jail overcrowding. KNWA's Casey Smith investigates a possible solution to the problem.
We have 669 beds today, but most of the time we have 700 plus. We've even hit 800 a couple of times, which means we have individuals sleeping on the floor.
And that's just the number of felons housed at the Benton County Jail.
So we got to the point, basically, we're not holding any misdemeanor offenders and have not for quite some time.
Benton County Sheriff Sean Holloway says because of that, people with misdemeanor charges rarely face jail time for their crimes.
I know of the Rogers District Court, talking to the judge there, he has several thousands of failure to appears a year, like over 10,000 a year.
But the Benton County Quorum Court recently put forth an initial $1 million for architecture and engineering of a new holding facility at the jail specifically for misdemeanor offenders.
We just don't want to throw everybody in jail, but there's got to be a consequence for your actions, and that ultimate threat, if I don't do what the judge tells me, or if I don't pay my fine, or if I don't come to court, I'm going to jail.
Sheriff Holloway tells me this new facility will provide a space for drugs, alcohol, and mental health programs designed to cut down on recidivism.
We don't have very many spaces today for the amount of programming of the people who are wanting to help. We can only get X amount of people through these programs a day. This will expand that and almost double what we're able to do today.
It's a facility Sheriff Holloway believes will keep Northwest Arkansas safe for years to come.
And we'll see the rewards of this down the road in our community by having this online.
And that was Casey Smith reporting for us tonight. Sheriff Holloway expects the addition to cost upwards of $20 million and hope it's operational by early 2028. The sheriff believes it will also keep women prisoners safer during severe weather. Well, tonight, local aviators are expressing concerns about a residential development. This is going on in Siloam Springs, where the municipal airport's federal grant money could be put in jeopardy. KNWA's Gabriella Phelan reports.
For nearly 10 years, Jonathan Barnett has kept his planes here at the Siloam.
All right, everyone, we're in a newscast, so we're gonna we're watching these cells, but we're gonna drop off of the live stream. I think everything is done. Everything's out of our weather coverage area. Yes, there are some more rumbles of thunder in Northwest Arkansas. That storm's looking pretty impressive. That's in southern Yell County, but it's out of our weather coverage area. Go into Northwest Arkansas.
Subdivision is trying to go into the north of our runway.
The Planning and Zoning Commission voted to deny the development at a
wrong thing. Push the wrong button. Yeah. Some more rain. That's definitely would have impacted the baseball game. But guess what? There's no baseball tonight. Good call. Yep. Yeah, it is for that one cell to the east, man. Yeah, it is. No more warnings in our area. So, hey, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. Whoops. Didn't mean to go off of that, too. I'm so tired at this point. Spent. I'm done. Cooked, roasted, finished. Fried, baked. I feel like in Mortal Kombat, which is coming out here pretty soon. The guy's like wobbling. It's like, finish him. That was the tornado warning in Eastern Scott County. That was the finish him. Mother Nature wins. Yeah, exactly. That's what it feels like. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you, Davion, Leslie. Great job, as always. Josh Rugger in the morning. Golly, we've been busy. All right. See ya. Bye.